riders ready. Watch the gate.
Come on. Break it down now. Break it down now.
Right, so welcome to the Waikato Regional Championships here in a little bit of an overcast morning, but Hamilton BMX Club putting on the first leg of our two-day event. Not forgetting this afternoon we move across to Cambridge and tomorrow morning to Tiamutu. It's going to be a fantastic three-track event. Great skills being shown by all our riders, different skills, different skill sets needed for the three tracks. I got my co-commentator here, JD. JD, looking forward to some fantastic racing out there today.
Well, it's going to be really exciting. A tremendous track. Here my microphone is back on the app there. Looks like we have ourselves a 326 riders stacked and packed out here today. So we'll be racing hard and fast. Hamilton track is looking very good, as you mentioned. They've had a few changes to the track over the course of the last year, and it's looking fast out there for the riders. So it'll be interesting to see how the riders progress through the day. Over Cambridge and Ormutu tomorrow.
Right, so we're just about ready to go. Commissars are ready and the gate is locked and loaded for that motor number 1 sprockets 5 and under. We've got DJ Hunt, Bodie Mitchell, Connor Snodgrass, Luke Person. Right, and we've got the gate coming down. Looks like a nice psychedelic red and yellow helmet out there, taking it out around that first boom. That's our little rider, 495. That's from DJ Hunt. DJ Hunt coming down that second turn now, pedaling his way around that turn. Good rhythm there on that 405 machine, the 132 chasing him down. That's Bodie Mitchell from Tiamutu. He's looking to close the gap, but out front, our front runner there on the 405, DJ Hunt going down that last straightaway now.
All right, here we go. Winter race number 2 with Sprockets 5 and under. We have ourselves Charlie Watson out there with a Millen Brockton and Summer Kane. And Kate Spooner is looking good out at Tiamutu. Arlo Hudson out of New Plymouth is coming through. Nice riding in there from the 390, hitting into 1 spot. But we got ourselves a little competition happening in that 2 spot, and it looks like a little argy-bargy coming down that second straight over top of the tabletop. Oh, we got ourselves a little bit of a collision on that one as they come through on that second quarter into the rhythm section and down the straight. But out in the front of the pack and leading from the lead. It's Arlo Hudson taking it back from New Plymouth, looking sharp as he gets himself a nice little work through on that final straightaway with a good lead on that one. Taking it on TA, coming in on the number 2 spot with Hamilton hitting it on the 3 spot. Good work in there from these riders, hitting it on the Sprockets 5 and under.
Sprocket 6 coming down that first straight now. We got Hamilton, Waikato, North Harbour, Cambridge, Taupo, Tauranga and Cambridge again. But it looks like it is the 177, and that's Paddy Gilgreen. He's from Tauranga. Nice battle forming there for the second and third spot. Ryder takes a nice tight line, but we've got 417 trying to click the high-low there. He's coming hard at him for that second spot now. But out front, 177. Paddy leading the way. Ryder's going bar-to-bar action in that turn for that fourth and fifth spot. Paddy looks like he's going to take the win.
Jumping the gate here on the Sprocket 7 boys. We have a stacked and rack gate here. Looks like we got ourselves a little arch part pushing into that first corner. That'll be Hudson Hislop on the 311 plate out of East City. Coming in on the 2 spot with a nice little ride line. Coming in with a push there. Ludo is sitting in the 3 spot. But that's a beautiful line from the Waikato rider. Looking sharp as he pushes through. That'll be Sage Adams looking real strong. Ludo Rosenberg sitting in the 3 spot as they push through this rhythm section. It'll be a good push and a good race out in the front. Hamilton rider hitting it on the 4 spot. That'll be Finn Watson coming through. Good rider in there from Jasper Sweetman, Luca Guild, and Harry Sinclair. Hudson Hislop is going to be holding it on this one, but it'll be a 3-spot run as they push it to the finish line. Up to the scores to see who takes that one. Hitting it on the hard side as the Sprocket 7 boys are hitting down. Otto Peters coming through with Jed Law, Jackson McIntosh, and Cohen Phillips, Freddie Stranfield, and Quinn Hayes, George Peterson. But out in the front, that'll be Freddie Stranfield out of the North Harbor, riding it nice and clean in there. Looks like there's a race within a race happening as they hit onto that second corner. Good little push in there. It'll be a battle for that second and third place as they roll on through. Jed Law looking sharp as he rolls in there. Cohen Phillips and Quinn Hayes, Jordan Peters as well out of Hawks Bay. Coming into that corner, looks like we've had ourselves a little bit of a collision. We have one rider down, so we'll see who that is as they push it through. But nice riding in there from those lads. As we come into race number 6, Sprocket 6-7 girls, Nina Jeffrey and Eve Spence, Madison Walker and Mila Kane. Orlo Lloyd also in there from the Mountain Raiders. Out in the front with a beautiful little 180 plate, hitting it on that one. That'll be Nina Jeffrey. Mountain Raiders sitting in the 2 as they're coming down on Orlo Lloyd. Nice work in there. Madison Walker coming through with Mila Keene. Hustle beats Helen Wint. Helen won't hustle as they come into that rhythm section. 180 holding it strong with a 360 all day long coming in on the 2 spot. Orlo Lloyd out of Mountain Raiders hitting it down, but she better watch her back. She's got herself a GT rider coming in on the fast track, coming into that third corner. Nice little line as she wraps it around this one, getting some steam and some momentum happening. But out on the front end, taking her home is Nina Jeffrey on the 180. Dropping it back onto the 8 boys as we drop the gate on these ones. And we got a stack and rack gate. It's Lucas Massey, Jacob of Lashich, and Oakley Mitchell with a Cruise Cane. Max the Millionaire Miles coming in with Finn Hudson. Finn Hudson looking sharp on the NZ4 plate, holding it down on the 1 spot as he comes on through. But he got Max the Millionaire Miles breathing down his neck. But it's going to be an arch barge into the second corner. It's a tight push and a tight squeeze as he comes through. But threading the needle is Max the Millionaire Miles on the 2 spot. But coming up on that Pure is a nice little ride line on the rhythm section. What will happen into this third corner? Max coming in tight on this corner, but it looks like out in the front, it's Finn Hudson taking her home. Good work on these boys as they come through. It'll be a nice little push on these riders all day long.
Right, next up it looks like the 8 boys. Lucas, Jacob, Oakley, Cruz, Max, Finn, is that the right one? Sorry, one moto back. It's race number 8. Asher, Sam, Carter, Liam, Ryan, Liam Anderson, Nico, and Jake. Nice mix of riders from all over the country.
Right, so down the first straightaway, here we go. Riders bunching up around that first turn now. It's the 178. Going down the first straight, around that second turn, 178 leading the way. And then we got the 574 board. That's the young man from Hamilton. He's holding on to that second spot. 301 Freddie Stansfield from North Harbour, riding a nice tight line, but our rider coming under pressure there in that fourth spot.
All right, here we go as we roll on through into these boys and getting into the racing, as it looks like we have ourselves a nice little Jaden Verrett sitting in the 2 spot. We got the NZ8 coming in there on Logan Healy sitting in the 1 spot at the moment. Logan's in the 1 as he's coming through. He's been going leaps and bounds. Oh, trying to thread the needle. That's Jaden Verrett looking for a door, but he's got it shut down. It's Logan out in the 1 spot as he's coming through, but nice little work in there as he rolls through. We got a Shark in the tank as he's coming on the 3 spot. He's coming down on that one beautifully. That'll be none other than Leo Chartland coming through, and it looks like he's holding on to the 3 with a nice little work. Logan Healy coming in on the 1. Dropping the gate on these boys as they roll on through. It'll be 9 boys with Bowden Land, Kingston Hislop, Archie West, and Ted Gilgren. But Brock Wellington looking good with Matua out there in the front of the spot at the moment, but hot on his tail and press on the fresh off the press. It'll be Kingston Hislop out of East City in the 2 spot as they roll on through. Nice work in there from Dylan Smith, looking good out of Cambridge. But in the 3 spot as they crisp them through, Bowden Lamb sitting in the 4, coming back on the tack. It'll be Kingston Hislop in the 2 with Matua sitting in the 1. Nice work on these boys as they press on through with the 9 boys. Lighten it up.
Right, and coming on at you, that's going to be our world plate holder, Thor Pisso from Hamilton. He leads this race down now into that second turn. We got the 115 machine closing in there though. That's Daniel Chen from North Harbour. Nice berm work there from our young rider sitting in 3rd spot now. Young 3rd board is NZ3. And that's Henry Hogg sitting back in the 4th spot. But Thor Pisso working that last straightaway, giving us a bit of air to take the win.
Dropping the gate on the 10 boys as we go live here on the Fletcher Smith sitting in there. Charlie Mitchell out of Cambridge. Nico Martini sitting in the mix as they roll on through. George Wu and Nathan Annual Clifford coming in there out in the front of the pack. That'll be none other than your NZ2, George Wu out of Hamilton, pushing it hard. It's his home track and laying it down with the 1-5 coming in through there. That's Rowan Thompson out of Hawke's Bay, and Hamilton sitting in the 3 spot as they roll it down. Nice work in there from these boys coming through. Fletcher Smith sitting in the 3 as he comes through with a nice little patch down that finish section. Holy smoke, is he ever raring it up.
Right, and it's the second gate of 10 boys. And we got some bar-to-bar action going into that first turn. A great move there by our young board on the W2. That'll be Jackson Rapati working really well down that first straight. Nice action there into that second turn. The 147 looking for a way through here. 147 coming down real strong down on the outside. High-low coming from him. We got Jackson out front though. Good battle here coming for the second spot. Jackson coming out of a little bit of pressure there for that first. What a race.
Dropping the gate on the 10 boys, we have Connor Odgren out of Hamilton, Otis Rope coming out of Capital with Dom Brycott Jenkins out of Hamilton, Braxton Hughes in there from Hyro with Jacob Crawford coming into that first corner, ripping it up and leaving it on the track. It's 156, holding it tight on the first. That's Otis Rope out of Capital. He's come here to mean business, and he's definitely laying it down with some nice work in there from Dress to Impress coming through on the number 2 spot. Looking good as the plates come back at us, looking like he's coming out of, and it's Carter Mold in there from Tiaraha as well. Coming back on the track with the 6 on the back, it's a 756. That's Braxton Hughes out of Hyro, looking sharp as these boys are riding tight.
Right, and now it's the girls taking it to the track. We got the NZ1 and NZ2. That'll be Georgia. Georgia holding on that NZ1 plate. She leads the way. NZ2 swooping down on the inside, and then we've got the number 3 board there of Aslan Lloyd. Great tight riding there. Aslan Lloyd coming down on the inside there, looking for a way through. She shunts down Hattie Barrington. Hattie Barrington now coming under pressure from the 4th place rider. Hattie rides a nice tight line down into the last straight. But out front, it looks like Georgia Poe Edwards is going to take that one away.
Dropping the gate on the 11 boys. Nice little start in there. That'll be none other than Mata coming in there from the North Harbour, hitting in the one spot. Nice work as he's coming tight onto that first corner. Nice little work in there from the 308 plate, looking like he's lining it up as he comes through and is trying to breathe down the neck with Peyton Prescott out of Tiadamutu. Pushing through as they follow the leader on the second corner and into the rhythm straight with the 11 plate sitting in there tight. That'll be JD Pistorius out of Hamilton, laying it down the track. Looking for a little bit of an undercut and trying to thread the needle as they come through onto that last and final straight, but it's Mata taking it home on the one spot.
Right, 11 boys, Mata 2. We'll be looking out for Dylan Johns from the Mountain Raiders. And it's a 570 board coming out tops there. That's Dylan Johns leading the way. Nice start riding from all this pack as they swoop down into the second turn. Dylan Johns, nice rhythm. Big manuals from that young rider out in front. Great riding there from the man on the purple bike. Giving it good, nice tight riding. Good action in that last turn. Dylan Johns, a little bit of breathing space there, but great action for the second, third, fourth spot.
All right, dropping the gate on the 11 girls as we get into the throws and spills out there. This one's going to be stacked and racked and full with Smika Wallace out in the one spot at the moment, with Ruby Buckley holding it tight on the two, with the three spot in there from the North Harbour live rider. That's Mia Grant in the Thriller. Savannah Hogg looking real good. Olivia Foss is lining it up, trying to get into that second corner for a little bit of a pin through, but it looks like that Mika's holding it down on the one. Ruby Buckley is coming through. Mia's in the two spot. Savannah Hogg is hitting it hard on the four. Olivia Foss taking it in the five, and it looks like we have ourselves none other than Amy Pocock sitting in there from Cambridge as well. Nice work in there from these ladies.
Remember, top four go through, so we're looking right now at race number 19. That's the 11 girls, Leah, Olivia, Lily, Cameron, and Amelia. Amelia is the home favorite, 188, and she's leading the way here. Great action just behind there, looking for the third spot. Border by action. We got the fifth rider swooping down, coming through. That's bike number 66, Lily Hansen, with a great move around that second turn. She piles her way around the third berm and down into the last straight. Lily Hansen looking for that third spot. Great ride from there. We'll let the transponders call that one.
Heading into the first corner, looks like that's Jai Martini out of Mountain Raiders hitting on the 88 plate, and the old Alabama Slam is hitting in the number 2 spot, hitting nice there with 446. That's Max Whitelaw in there from the North Harbour, looking real good. Sunset Coast in there with Finn Barrington as well, trying to push it down and knock down some doors, but it'll be an arch barge for that number 4 spot as they roll through. Jai is definitely barreling down the hatch on this one, and he's got it locked and loaded. Nice little nose manual in there from these boys as they're showing down the skills.
Just a quick health and safety notice there. Riders, make sure you have your helmets on when you're doing the warm-ups. We don't want to upset our commissars and upset your days. But out there, right now on the track with a lot of action there down that second straight. They're going to dive into the second turn, real bunched up. 247 looks like he's going to make some great work. The East City rider holding on to third spot right now. Topo looking like he's in second. Down that last straightaway, East City looks like he wants to make a move. Big challenge up for that top spot. Another transponder call.
Dropping the gate on the 12 boys, Alex Shanks out of Hamilton with Tobias Dickinson, the internet sensation, sitting in the 3 spot at the moment out of Waikato with the 905 hitting it hard in the 1 spot as they roll through. That's Alex Shanks. It's his track and he's laying it down. So we push it through here. Sebastian Bastia and Charlie Panting sitting in the number 2 spot as he's riding hard, looking real sharp with some nice work on his May boys. He's putting it through. Baxter Arthur and Jack Hartman out of Sunset Coast, looking like he's trying to get into the mix there. Nice work as these boys are running it down. Looks like Tobias is trying to get an extra place, but it's going to hold on to the number 4 spot.
Right, 4 girls bringing it to you in race number 23. Ola, Kelly, Nessie, and Addison. Nessie Rennie, our Hamilton girl. She'll be looking like she wants a bit of it, and she's leading the way now. Home track advantage. Nessie out there. Big manuals and nice turn work. Down into that rhythm straight. She hasn't got the slim digit on that board for nothing. The NZ number 3, Nessie Harrington. All the way down into that last straightaway now. Nessie leading the way. Good action and fighting all the way here for that third spot too.
Dropping the gate on the 12 girls. Oh, a little bit of bar-to-bar action happening right out the front, going two abreast going as they get into that first corner. Nice work as they push them through. Looks like that's none other than Lexi Silver, not known for backing down, out in the front spot with a Mountain Raider sitting in there. Naima Lloyd sitting in the 2 spot. Nice work as these ladies are pushing it down, but Lexi's out in the front of the spot. But it's the East City rider that seems to be closing the gap as they come through. That's Peyton Carroll, none other than the East City rider with Alison Bruscott and Ara Brickhart Jenkins in there as well out of the Hamilton.
13 boys coming down now. The first straight, we've got Connor, Kaylin, Jono, Jared, Charlie, and Rika Ryan. Looks like Rika Ryan's on the outside of the turn. Holding on to that lead now, going down that second straightaway. We've got Charlie Withington all the way from Tauranga. Nice tight berm from Charlie. They come down that rhythm straight. Rika Ryan looks like he's going to hold on to it round that third turn. Keeping him on his toes. Withington right on his tail. Looks like Rika Ryan does enough to hold that one.
Dropping the gate on the 14 boys. Now these ones are going to be quick, so you're going to want to watch these ones all day. Nixon Banks is one boy that you're going to want to watch. He's out in the front and leading it from there on the 1-2-2. Sitting in the 2 spot is a 164, looking sharp and pedals galore as he's pushing it down. Blake Andrews in the mix out of Whangarei, and Jacob White, Darian Wolfhard coming through Emerson Hohia, but it's Jackson Banks leading it out. Jack West in there, and Oliver Donaldson with Travis Marshall out of Pairua. Nice work in there. Boys, you're going to want to watch this one all day long.
And that's the second moto for the 14 boys. As JD said, this is going to be a tight race all day long. We got Jack Buckley. We got the 911 board of Ben Anderson. Those are 2 visiting riders from Auckland. We got the 88 and the 131 out there too. Liam Clifford from Tauranga. He's not going to be far behind the leading pack. But right now, our rider working the last bit of rhythm, taking the win away.
As we cruise on into the race number 28, we're definitely not doing any cruising with these boys. It's 17 to 29 males on the 20-inch. Lighting it up in the front there. Nice work from Lewis coming through on the 1 spot. Jetting it down from the East City. We have ourselves Brock the Bomber Nelson in there from Cambridge, Corey Waddland and Regan Smith. Lighting it up in there is Richard Lewis and James Wallace and Kai Timoana coming through there. Nice work from these boys, looking at like it's the 2 spots up for contention at the moment. It'll be a race to the finish line to see who takes it down up to scores. Who put that one in the parcel?
As JD mentions, you can follow all the action out on scores. As the 17 to 29 second moto comes down at you. Nice tight action on that first turn. There's bar-to-bar action. We have Flynn, Zachary, Tom, Angus, Jackson, Scott and Max. And Donaldson sitting out in the 4th spot at the moment. We got the 361 rider. He's holding on. That's Angus Thompson onto that 3rd spot. Right round the outside here. Big challenge there for the 3rd spot. That's definitely a transponder call.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just got the word. Looks like race number 30 has had a mechanical, so we're just going to take a break on that one. We're going to be hitting it down with race number 31. All right, here we go. Test one, test one. Here we go, race number 31. Race number 30 is mechanical. All right, here we go. Race number 30, hitting it hard and large. It's the 40 to 54 males on the 20-inch. Boys that should know better, dressed to impress. It's Scott Silver sitting in the 2 spot, but in the 1 spot, it's a Hamilton rider, 744, none other than John Hayes coming in there hard. 75, Adam O'Leary sitting in the mix as they push through. It's a Hamilton rider sitting in the 4 spot at the moment. That'll be Grant Rennie sitting there looking for a way through on the rhythm section with a little bar-to-bar action. But nice work in there from John Hayes. Scott Silver looks like he might just be saving a little mix for later on thrills to pay the bills. Looking like a Hamilton rider taking out 3 spot. Grant Rennie.
Right, and it's the 40 to 54 male 20-inch. 117 coming out tops there. That's Darren Smith all the way from Hamilton. But he's got a little bit of attention now from the second and third spot rider. 71 coming out top there. That pushes Ben way back into third. It's a tight race around that third turn for that top spot. 71 looks like he's holding it on at the moment. Oh, big dice down there from the second place rider. Another transponder call.
Bringing it back onto the 8 to 9 girls on the 20-inch. Nice little work in there. It looks like that'll be Pippa Walker out of Hamilton, lighting it up on the number 1. Nice little work as she's pushing it hard on that corner. You can see the pedals as she's going through. She means business here. She didn't come around here just to fool around. It's Violet Job in there, Paige Whitelaw out of Hamilton, and Ellis Jeffrey out of Rotorua. Kari O'Leary coming in through there. Stella Torrance and Greta Shue looking real good. But out in the front, that's Pippa Walker out of Hamilton, riding her Mabel all day long, but it'll be a push to see who gets this number 3 spot. A little bit of arch barge happening on the 4 place as these ladies are pushing it down.
Right, and it's more girl action out there. Race 34, 25 to 44 females. We got Caitlin, Sonia, Sam and Jody, and it looks like Caitlin's going to be leading this one. Sam sitting in the second spot, Jody back in third with Sonia, the hometown favorite. Jody pulls a nice move in that second turn. Now working that rhythm straight, holding on to that second spot. Sam and Jody going real bar-to-bar action. That gives Caitlin a bit of a breather. It's Sam and Jody. Jody looks like she took that one.
On the women under 23, Tanya Arnold in the mix. Nice little work in there from Brooke Penny. Looks like she's taking that whole shot as we're coming through on that one with a 647. That'll be Brooke Penny in the 1 spot. As we roll it through, Selena Pfizer sitting in the mix, sitting in the 3 spot as they go through on that second corner and down on the rhythm with a 311. Hitting hard and large. That's Amber Romson coming through out of Hamilton track, sitting in the 2. But out in the front, having her way, it's Brooke Penny. Tanya Arnold in the mix with Zoe Hartwell and Molly Inna. Amber Robertson taking it down on the 2 with Selena taking the 1 and taking her home with Brooke Penny.
Right, the action's going hot and fast here, and these guys are real fast. That's the 15 boys. Looks like that's the 01 rider, Case Silver from New Plymouth. Had a great weekend last weekend, and looks like he's coming back-to-back weekend strong. Down that rhythm straight though. Looks like the 823 is the big mover there. 822 coming around that turn real fast. Putting a bit of pressure now on Case. Great action further back now.
All right, here we go. We got ourselves Zed Pickford in the mix as we're throwing it down, going 3 across on this into the first corner. These guys are definitely pushing hard with the 267. That'll be none other than Unico Kogan sitting in the mix. Deacon McCormick sitting in there as well. And it's Nico sitting in the 2 spot as we roll it down on this, as he's pushing it down, coming back at this as we get the license plate on that. This is 257. That's Deacon McCormick sitting in the 1 spot as he's pushing it down.
Right, heading back to race 30 where we had the mechanical. We got Sean, Rick, Russell, Vince, Shane and Avon. And there's bar-to-bar action for that second spot. That leaves the 746 Sean Thompson out. He's from Cambridge. He's having a bit of breathing. But down that second turn now. Lots of action in that second, third, fourth spot. We got a whole lot of riders fighting for that third spot. Nice move from the man in the New Zealand shirt. Gets tied up though, and looks like Sean takes that up.
16 boys as we go with Deacon Connor getting the whole shot position into that first corner. Nice little line as he apex it through. Breathing down his neck is a 5-2. That's Levi Banks sitting in there from Hamilton, pushing it down. Trying to get his way through, going high to low, but not able to do it. Deacon holding on to that 1 spot into the rhythm section like a train off the rails. These boys are definitely heating it up as they're strolling through. Lost the mic as we're pushing it back onto these boys. It's Deacon Connor hitting it down on the 1 spot. Nice little work as he rolls through. Levi Banks taking the 2.
Right, and it's the girls out there again, 13, 14, 20 inch. We got Maddie Newcomb, the NZ1. Sophie Penny holding out the leading spot there on the 191. Her younger sister, 150, well, not younger, twin sister, 151. That's Luca Penny sitting in the second spot. Bar-to-bar action round that last turn we go. Luca holding on at the moment, under pressure from her sister. It's going to be like this all weekend.
All right, dropping the gate on the 15 to 16 girls as they push it through. Nice work in there. Looks like that's going to be Madeline Hunter out in the one. Not quite sure. Seeing that dress there. That's the end of one hitting it. That'll be Beth Walker sitting in the one spot. Nice work in there from the Colquhoun. Sophie sitting in the two as they roll through. But it's Madeline sitting in the three spot. Little cheeky look back. But it's a one spot dress to impress. Looking down the track on that rhythm section. Lighting it up. Nice work in there from these ladies. Beth Walker in the one. Madeline sitting in the three spot. And Sophie Colquhoun taken in the two spot.
Right, that first cruiser race coming down at you now. And, we need all riders to the pits, please. All riders to the pits for the start of round 2. 147. He's making his way out in front. Donovan Wallace from Taupo. He's going to have attention from Hugo Jacob and Rex, all mixing it up in that. But our young rider, Donovan, leading the way, opening up a huge gap here as he powers his way around that last turn, down the last straightaway. Donovan Wallace taking out the cruiser race for the day.
All right, as we get into the action with the cruiser male, Sebastian Bassett out of North Harbour in there. Caden McKenzie coming in from Christchurch, and Brock O'Neill, the switchblade, back in the mix. Unbelievable. Good to see this boy back on the bike. Love to see his riding. This boy is a piece of work and artwork out on the track, so it is always nice to see him back. He's just come back from a serious injury, and so it's fantastic to see him back on the bike riding. Jordan Dawson in the mix as he's pushing through. Looks like old Jordy's taking in the one spot. In nice little manual top over top of the tabletop with Brock taking home on the two spot. Finn Barrington, Brock O'Neill taking the two, and Caden McKenzie, Sebastian Bassett in there.
Right, we got the second race of the 11 to 12 cruiser male. That's going to see Enzo Tate, Matatini, Baden, and Dylan. Baden riding Black Beauty. He's out sitting on the third spot. Bit of a case there for our young rider in fifth. But Baden looking like he wants a bit of that second action out in front. The W1 with some nice air. Real throwing that cruiser bike around, showing us a great skills.
All right, 13 to 14 cruiser males. Kaylin McNabb coming in there from North Harbour. Connor Bell coming in Rotorua with Rico Ryan in there from Tauranga. Liam Clifford in the mix as they're coming down from Tauranga. Travis Marshall also coming through from Pyro, and Jared Rennie in there from Hamilton. Now these boys will be double classing, and with 3 racing events over the course of the next 2 days, these boys will definitely be getting their lap times in. I think we worked it out to be about 25 rides, 25 laps as they come through. So these boys are definitely going to be feeling the burn as the lactic acid builds up. Rico Ryan taking the one.
17 to 39 cruiser. Sean, Sam, Zachary, James, Corey, Hayden, and JD. And it's our local rider there, Hayden Stockman, giving it some air down that second straight with a nice tight turn. He's putting on the pressure now for that first spot. But top 3 riders opening up a bit of a gap. Hayden looking like he wants a bit of the win here. Down that last straightaway, he comes under pressure for that second spot. It's going to be a 3-way dice over the line.
Race number 46 with the 40 to 49 cruiser males coming through. All right, we just got the word. We need to get those sprockets. If you're riding a sprocket, get yourself over to the gate ASP. That's not now, but right now. So sprockets over to the gate. We got Jacques Chisel out of there from Hamilton. Daniel Mantini out of Mountain Raiders with none other than Nick Jeffrey out of Rotorua. Brad Theory coming in there out of Hamilton. Andrew Shaker coming in from Hut Valley Thunderbolts. Grant Rennie in there from Hamilton. And it looks like Joanne Rosenberg out of Tiamutu looking sharp. Hamilton taking in the 2 spot as these boys are lighting it up. 40 to 49 cruiser males.
Right, the 50 to 59 males out there now. Wayne, Mark, Paul, Greg, and Warren. We got Bogus on those gold wheels. But riders keeping it nice and tight around there. Tight line from our 71 bike. Looking for that leading spot. Down the rhythm straight they go. They experienced riders are not short of any skills as they come round that third turn. Leading rider taking it away.
All right, dropping the gate on these boys, 50 to 59. Cruiser Dion Newth out of Rotorua. Looks like he's sitting in a nice mix on the 2 spot as we come through on the mix. He's sitting in the 1 at the moment with the 117. Hitting on that, that's Darren Smith coming through on the 2 spot. Nice work in there. Craig Barrington hitting it on the 3 spot. And we have ourselves none other than the 161 rider. That's James Pocott out of Cambridge. Dion Newth taking the 1 as he rolls it through with Darren Smith taking the 2, Craig Barrington hitting it on the 3, and James Bocott on the 4 spot.
Right, and at you now is the 8 to 12 cruiser females. And that'll be Nessie Rennie from Hamilton opening up the gap. Would it? It's bike number 61, Nessie, followed by the 80 machine of Perrine. So the 2 little Rennies out in front at the moment. But Nessie leading the way. Nice tight turn from our 3rd place rider on the 305 machine, Hattie Barrington from Sun City. And down that last straightaway now, Nessie Rennie leading it out, taking away her first cruiser ride for the day.
All right, last but not least for moto number 1, 17 to 49 cruiser females. Nice work in there as they're going 3 across on this one into that first corner. Nice little work in there from the 119, sitting it in there with the world number 1 sitting in the 2 spot. That's Jeanette Davies sitting in the 2 as they come on through, but it's Zoe Hartwell having it her way, putting down with a nice high line as she's sitting in the 2 spot. It'll be a race to the finish line to see who takes the 3rd, but going from the outside, see if she can thread the needle. Going to go for a high-low as she pushes it through. No, it's follow the leader as they come through onto that thermal corner, but Zoe Hartwell taking it down. Coming in there, Steph Hook with none other than Talia Arnold and Jeanette Davies taking in the 2.
Right, JD, that was some fast-paced action for that first. It'll be a nice little push on these riders. Now, it's going to be a great weekend of fantastic racing all weekend if we got that to go by.
It's absolutely tremendous racing from these boys and girls. And ladies and gentlemen, out there as we roll on through into moto number 2, it looks like we're going to be having some nice racing as they rip it through with the Hamilton track looking pretty fast. And as we will flip over to the Cambridge track partway through the day, we'll keep you posted on those times, and then we'll be heading over to the Te Aramutu track tomorrow. As we mentioned before, it'll be a Waikato Region Champs 2025, hitting it with 3 tracks over 2 days, lighting it up as we go through with 326 riders registered. Some of these riders are double classing for all you boys and girls out there in TV land watching, and if you want to get involved in your sport, just head down to your local BMX track. Everybody's always looking for an extra rider or 2 to come on through. If you're thinking about sponsoring the clubs, by all means, you're more than welcome to splash the cash. Come on through. Speaking about splashing the cash, go on through over to the Tuck Shop. I hear they've got some sizzling burgers, hot dogs, and hamburgers over there waiting to go. And if you're looking for a nice soda pop, get yourself. Speaking of fizzing at the start line, we got ourselves some riders out in the front of the pack and leading it there. It's a Hamilton rider. Looks like he's laying it down. Nice work in there from Charlie Watson as he's pushing it down on the nice little 388 plate. Sitting in the 2 spot is the 132 plot. That's Bodie Mitchell coming in on the 2 out of Te Aramutu. Looking sweet as they come through onto that second corner. That's Connor Sodgrass and Luke Pearson with Summer Kane coming through on the mix on the 711 711 open 24 hours. That's Connor Sodgrass in the number 3 spot as they roll it down. Give him a nice warm round of applause as these lads push their way through. Sprockets 5 and under. Nice work in there from the Hamilton rider. That guy's definitely got some style out in the front. That's Charlie Watson taking the 1 spot.
And this is the future of the sport where it all begins. Right here, 5 and under Sprockets, Arlo, DJ, Millen Tate. These little guys might be brand new to the sport, but they're certainly not short of any skill or speed. And we got the 405 DJ Hunt from North Harbour. He's leading it out. His buddy there in the 390, Arlo Hudson, giving him a good run as they come down that rhythm straight. Arlo looking for a way around the outside here. DJ is holding on to that inside line as they swoop into that last turn. It's Arlo chasing down DJ. DJ working his bike with great skill over that last jump, taking it away.
Dropping the gate on the sprocket. 6 boys out here. Nice little work as he comes through. That's Paddy Gillard out of Tauranga, pushing it hard out of the 1 spot on the 177. He's got himself some action happening on the 2. It's a 177 holding into the 1 spot as they roll it through. It could be a 117. They're mixing it up on us, and it looks like it's a clean race for the 1 spot as he pumps himself down into that second corner as he comes back onto the mix here. I'll just grab my microphone as they pull it through. It's a 171 sitting in there. Nice work from Harlan Daniels and Hunter Gardner. Soul Boundary and Harley Wallace coming. Ezra Heath coming in the mix as well with Robin Zaczynski out of Waikato, looking strong as these boys are pushing it down. Nice manual over top of the double and finishing it beautifully.
Right, it's the 7 sprockets coming at you with a full gate of 8. It looks like our man out of lane 2, Freddie Stansfield, with those nice bright wheels. Looks like he's going to take the whole shot. That's on the 301. Freddie leading the way. We got the 342 machine there of Ludo. He's from Tiamudu. He'll be looking forward to finishing his racing in Tiamudu tomorrow. But out front, it is the Freddie and the Ludo show right now. Round that last turn. Freddie rides a nice tight line around that last turn. We got a bit of action moving up from that 5th spot into 3rd. Right now it's the 3rd spot we're looking for. Great action down that last straight from our 7 sprockets.
Dropping the gate on the sprocket. 7 boys, moto number 2 as they push through. That'll be Hudson Hislop out in the front of the pack at the moment on the 311 plate. Coming in, nice little undercut from the Hamilton rider on the 5-3-4, hitting it tight. Beautiful ride from there from Finn Watson. Nice work as he rolls it down onto the mix. Coming in on that corner, it'll Waikato boy taking it back though and pushing it hard as he comes through. That'll be Sage Adams in the 2 spot. Nice work in there from these boys. It's Jed Law out of Cambridge, Quinn Hayes out of Hamilton, and Jordan Pearson out of Hawke's Bay, and Luke Guild out of Cambridge, as these boys are definitely going hard all day.
Right, just Commissar Call, could we have rider 301, Freddie Stansfield? Could you meet the Commissar by the points hut? Right, coming at you now. It's the 6 and 7 girls sprockets. We got the Mountain Raiders, Hamilton, Rotorua, all being represented. And out there, it is the 180 of Nina Jeffrey from Rotorua. This track will seem like it's a little bit of a sprint race in comparison to that beast of a track they ride in Rotorua. That fantastic world-class facility that we had the Oceanas on not so long ago. But great work there from our Rotorua girl, taking it up.
Dropping the gate now. We're getting into the 8 boys here, and we're fizzle-bizzle as the action is a mess. Click, click, click. That's me turning it up a notch as these boys are going into the corner. But out in the front, and that'll be the same rider on this Pure Racing. Beautiful. Oh, we got ourselves Arch Barge and 2 riders down as they come through. Out in the front of the pack as they come in through and shoot back onto this corner. It's a nice little spin as he comes through. Get that plate as he mixes it up on the 574, hitting it on the 2 spot. Nice work on there from Liam Anderson out of the Hamilton as they come through with Michael Bias sitting in the 3 spot, but out in the front of the pack, and he's going to have to push it, and he's holding it down. He's putting the pedal down to the metal. It's a Hamilton rider trying to take another spot. All right, hitting it into a race at number 58. A big shout out to all the moms and dads and all the aunts and uncles for getting all the kids and boys and girls here and getting this track to the state that it is. These events cannot occur without the help and support from all of the local volunteers. The track is absolutely looking marvelous. We got our riders back up on their feet and on their bikes as they roll through. These kids are built tough as nails, they say. That'll be the license plate of the 906 coming through, and the license plate of the 3 coming through. That's a 223 Jacob Valish coming through. So Jacob, give him a round of applause as he comes around. And the 906, that's Oakley Mitchell out at Tiadamutu.
Great to see our riders back up and about, and it's the second moto for the 8 boys. It's going to be nice and tight coming down into that first turn. Things get real bunched up for our rider there in 3rd spot. That's the 421, but he comes out real good there, sitting in the second spot at the moment. He's gone wide. He's going to flick a high-low. It's the number 4 board holding on to the second. 421 coming hard at him down that rhythm straight, looking for a way through. We got a bit of bar-to-bar action as they come round the turn. Things getting really tight up front. Real bunched up. It looks like our Topo rider is going to take away the win. The East City of 121 will take third.
Oh, it's definitely starting to heat up as these boys are getting into it. We got ourselves Matua out there with Thor Pizzo. It's his home track. It's Thor looking for a little bit of a way through. He's going to high. He's going to stay high. It's the 1-1-1 plate. None other than the North Harbor rider. Matua sitting on the thrill, taking it in the 2 spot. It's Thor looking for a little bit of an undercut. No, he's going to have to settle for the 2 spot in the rhythm section. He's going to try and make a little bit of a way through as we get it through the 350. Nico Rosenberg sitting in the 2 and the 3 spot as they go through with Max Pocott in there. Archie West. It'll be a push to the finish line as they go through. Matua has got the 1. Thor's going to have to settle for the 2. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board and see where he can get through. Nice work on these 9 boys. Definitely heating up, getting fast on the track. Hitting it down on the 9 boys as we go through.
Right, so 9 boys going out. We've got Leo Benjamin, Ben Brock, Rio Bowden, and Vanda. And that looks like it's the 876 for Bowden from the Mountain Raiders. He's leading it out there. The 194 is sitting in second spot with the number 5 board, Leo Charlton from New Plymouth, holding on to second. Some mixed up action going on around the back there, but out front it's our rider Leo holding on to that second spot.
Dropping the gate on the 9 boys in the mix as we go through. Logan's looking real strong. He looks like he's getting it through, but it's Henry Hogg out in the front holding the whole shot position at the moment. Logan's able to thread it down. Daniel Chen sitting in the 3 spot, but it's Henry that's got the power and the steam out of that first corner. Henry Hogg out of the Waitaki holding it down. Logan in the 2 spot. Oh, we got ourselves Jaden Ferret undercutting, but it's Kingston Hislop holding on to the speed as he comes through in that rhythm section. It's anybody's show as they come through into this final corner. It's Henry Hogg into the 1 spot. Oh, we got ourselves, we got Henry Hogg out in the 1 spot. We got Logan sitting in the 2 spot, and it's Kingston holding on to a possible 3 up to the scores to see this. We got a rider down at Jaden Ferret. Just hold the riders that are on the course. Riders that are on the course, we have a rider down. A rider is down. Riders on the course, we have a rider down.
The race continues, and it's the 10 boys coming down Neptune now around that second turn. Things are heating up with the 156 board.
Rider down.
Looking
rider
for
down.
a way through. That's Otis. Otis as they go round our injured rider. But it's Otis looking for a way through here. Great action, bar to bar, as they go down the last straightaway. Big round of applause there for our rider that's up and about. Built tough, and they bounce back. And we look forward to seeing him back for rider number 3.
All right, head back to the racing. We have ourselves race number 62. It's 10 boys up on the gate. Slamming down on the gate on this one. It looks like getting a whole shot. Beautiful riding in there from Jackson Ropati, hitting it on the whole shot position. But it's Caden McDonald breathing down his neck, and it's going far to far, tire to tire on the number 3 as they pushing it down. It's the number 2 hitting it in the mix as he's trying to make his way through. Nice work in there, but it's none other than Jackson Ropati hitting it on the 1. It's Caden McDonald hitting it on the number 2 spot. Oh, nice little push in this one. It'll be interesting to see who throws it down to the finish line, looking for a little bit of a thread. He's coming through. Jackson Ropati sitting on the 1. Jackson is going to be holding on to that with none other than Kane McDonald taking on the 2 spot with the NZ2 coming in on the 3. That's George Wu.
Right, third gate of 10 boys. Great to see that our 10 boys are nice and strong. We've got the Hamilton rider diving on the inside. That's the 137 board there. Holding on to second spot is James Anderson at the moment. Giving our front runner a little bit of a breathing space. That'll be the 115 of Roman Thompson from Hawke's Bay. Rod Anderson coming under pressure from our third spot rider. The Hawke's Bay rider having it his own way right now though. Anderson's going to have to put the gas on down that last straightaway because there's a big challenge up for that second spot.
All right, into the 10 girls here. Georgia Poe Edwards is looking like she's sitting in the 2 spot at the moment, and now making her way into the 1 spot as we roll into that first corner. It's Hattie Barrington getting a nice little undercut, but losing a little bit of steam as they roll it through. But it's the NZ3 pay. It'll be Ashlyn Lloyd from Mountain Raiders hitting in the 2 spot with Hattie Barrington sitting in the number 3 spot. Perrin Rennie sitting in there, Hattie Barrington, Holly Shanks also looking good, and Ashlyn Ashton looking very sharp as they come on through. Georgia Poe Edwards out in the front of the pack as they roll it down. It's a Mountain Raiders 1, and it's a Mountain Raiders 2. Sunset Coast taking in the 3, Hattie Barrington.
Right, round 2, first gate for the 11 boys. We've got Dylan, Nate, Sam, Tate, Jaden, Lachlan, Harris, and Baden all mixing it up. It's the 670 of Dylan John from Mountain Raiders. He's holding on to that lead at the moment. But looks like the 811 wants a bit of that. He's not going to let him have his own way. That's Jaden Pretorius from Hamilton. The home track advantage is going to count as they go down that last straight. Oh, big manuals from our front runner. Holding it on. Takes the win.
Right, dropping the gate on the 11 boys as we're getting it mixed out in the middle of the pack, but leading it from the front. That's Mata coming through from North Harbour in the 1. A little bit of push and shove happening with Jordan Darson trying to get in the mix on the 4 spot as they roll through. Caning it through, Max Olson, Luke Perryfield, and Artie Kahukura from Kaitangata coming through with Caden McKenzie and Enzo Torrens looking real good as these boys are lighting it up and down of that rhythm section. The rhythm and shaking the aisles. Jordan's looking for another little extra place, but not able to sustain the pain and push through on the pedal, but he's taken through. Mata is taking the 1.
Right, as I empty my mouth.
All right, hitting it into the 11 girls as we roll it down. It'll be a nice work in there. Mika is coming through on the 1 spot, but it's the Hamilton Riders giving her a little bit of a run for the money, sitting in the 2 spot as they roll it through on the 188, a plate looking sharp. Coming through on number 3 spot as they pushing it down. It looks like we have ourselves Savannah Hogg sitting in the 4 as they roll it down with none other than Amia Grant sitting in the mix as well, but it's Mika taking the 1. Hamilton Rider taking it through on the number 2 spot, Amelia DeTheory. All right, as we're rolling through here, 11 girls sitting in on the mix. Out in the front, it's the Mountain Raiders. That'll be your Ruby Buckley sitting in the 1 spot. Coming through, looks like that could be Lily is sitting in the number 2 spot. Olivia Foss coming in on the 3 spot. Nice work in there from Lily, getting some good speed as they roll it through. I'd like to see who that is in that nice Mac outfit in the number 4 spot. Dressed definitely to impress, but out in the front, spinning it hard. That's Ruby Buckley. Lily Hansen taking in the 2, with Olivia Foss taking the 3 spot.
Right, and it's the 12 boys coming at you in race number 70. Lucas, Josh, Thomas, Baxter, Sebastian, and Jackson. Great manual there from that speaker out front. Real difficult to see the board as he's going so fast. It looks like that was Josh Brathwaite from Mountain Raiders. Comes with a bit of an incident down that 104 board, swooping past him. That's the North Harbour rider, riding that nice tight turn into that second turn, and he leads the way now down that last straightaway. Awesome move from our young rider from North Harbour, taking it away.
All right, let's see who's got the skills to pay the bills on this one. In the middle of the pack, looks like he's pushing it down. It'll be Alan Shanks. Also in the mix in there is Finn Barrington also coming through, but it's a 905 plate leading it. That's Alex Shanks out of Hamilton. He's been riding hard all day long as they pushing into that second corner. Just going to grab this as they go it through. Out in the 2nd spot, plates getting small as they roll it through, but Max Whitelaw, Alex Shanks, Finn Barrington, Charlie Panting out of Tiadamutu. Monty Gardner coming through with a Nation Swine also picking it up as they're putting it down. Nice work in there, but they'll follow the leader on that one. It's the 12 boys wrapping it.
Right in the 3rd gate, the 12 boys, James Tobias, Jack, Jai, and Tyler. Remember the top 4 making the final. From each motto, we got the 88 there, Jai Martini. He's the Mountain Raider, leading it away. Down that rhythm straight, it's the bike of 88, getting chased down. 148 looking for a way through on that 3rd spot. That'll be James Sinclair from Topo. Oh, nice tight turn from him. But out front, Jai leading it out, taking his win for the day.
Heading into race number 73, 12 girls dropping the gate here. It's Lexi Silver not able to quite get that whole shot at the moment. It's out in the one spot as Nessie Rennie holding that whole shot position into that first corner. It'll be a push to the finish line on this one. It's Mountain Raider sitting in the number 4 spot with the 111 coming through there. That's Aria Shaker out of Hutt Valley Thunderbolts lightening it up on the number 3 spot at the moment. But out in the front, that's Nessie Rennie. Lexi's definitely going to have to shake, rattle, and roll if she wants to get in on the 1. She's going to have to put down the pedal on this one. But it's Nessie Rennie definitely holding her own in the 1. Lexi taking in the 2 spot as they're rolling through with Aria Shaker taking that 3.
Right, and it's Elise Addison, Peyton, and Kelly out there now. That'll be the skinny digit World 1 Addison Harrowfield from Mountain Raiders leading the way, showing a lot of skills. Looks like we got the 257 of Peyton holding out that 3rd position at the moment with 420 just ahead of her. That's Kelly Mello all the way from Christchurch. Great to see a representation from the South Island, but out in front, World 1 Addison Harrowfield.
13 boys is there as we go through. It's Rico Ryan as he's out in the 1 spot, in the number 2 spot, hitting it hard as he goes through. That'll be none other than the 57 plate hitting it. John O'Hanson out of Dunedin hitting in the 2 spot, coming in on that 3 spot, looking like a nice little clean line, getting some serious speed as he's rolling through. That's Charlie Worthington hitting in the 3 spot. It'll be a race for these boys all day. It's Rico Ryan holding on to the 1. Charlie Worthington with a little bit extra wind in his sails as he rolls it through. Lightning and thunder, that boy will rumble.
Green light and the game slams down for race number 76, and that was a great start there out of the middle. The rider coming around that first turn, the 722. That'll be Nixon Banks. He's a Hamilton rider. 122, sorry. Down that 3rd straightaway, 131 coming under pressure from the 88. Jake Buckley from Mountain Raiders looking for a 2nd position there, but out front, Banks takes it away.
Snap, crackle, pop goes the gate. Out the gate, looks like we have ourselves Ben Anderson holding the whole shot position at the moment. Like I said, 14 boys is the one to watch all day long. You want to see these boys. It's a 409 sitting in the number 2 spot. That'll be number 489, Joshua Ford out of Pyroa, sitting tight in there in the pocket, looking for a little bit of an arch barge in the way through. Nice work in there from the 4 plate as they come on down. Nice work, Emerson Hohaya, Darian Wolfard, and Tyler Grant. Ben Anderson leading it, and it's Jack West, Blake Andrews from Whangarei, and Joshua Ford, Jess Lindrock.
Right, and out of lane 1 we got Brock the Bomber Nelson from Cambridge. He's slotting himself into a nice inside line there, but out front it's our NZ1 Tom Coleman from Kapiti leading the way. Things getting real bunchy around that 2nd turn. The 303 board taking it out to the 2nd spot. Regan Smith from Mountain Raiders. He's holding on to that 2nd spot on his own now. But things getting real interesting down that last straightaway as we look for a 3rd, 4th, 5th spot.
All right, as we're getting into some speed demons here, it's James Wallace and Scott Donaldson and Corey Wadland, Lewis Atkinson looking real good as they come through. It's a 193 plate at the moment, sitting tight on there. It's a 193 coming. Oh, sorry, I've got myself mixed up in the bag as we're rolling it down as these boys are rolling it through. Oh, we got ourselves a rider has been
right, so our riders have gone down there on that 3rd straight. Things getting a little bit bunchy as the riders batch bars, but looks like Anderson took out the win. We got the 151 and the 112 board down. So that's Corey Walden and Lewis Atkinson down there at the moment. But our medics and our marshals taking care of our riders out there. So we just ask parents and riders to keep off the track. Just give the medics and the marshals, the commissars room to do what they need to do. Just a reminder, parents and riders to stay off the track and let the medics and the commissars do what they need to do.
Now, big shout out also to our commissaires today. We have Chris Lane and Sam Hanna out there. So Chris Lane and Sam Hanna are our commissaires out there today. Also, just make sure if you are out on your bike, you are wearing your safety gear at all times out on the track. It's helmets on the bikes. If they see you without a helmet, you will get the DQ. Make sure you have your long sleeves and your long pants on at all times when you're out on the track, wearing your gloves for all those little ones out there. That's Lewis Atkinson out there from East City, back up and walking as he rolls himself back into the finish line. Never nice to see them go down. As we head up onto the racing, onto the start line, we have ourselves a race number 80. It's the 30 to 39 males on the 20-inch.
Right, that's going to see Rick, Sean, Avon, Shane, Russell, and Vince. We have 3 Hamilton riders in North Harbour, Cambridge, and Hawke's Bay. We just need a bit of a medical to come back on track, and we can get things going. Just riders stay off the track. Those young riders there on the first turn, please get off the track and move away there. Let's keep them stay safe up there. Just remember, when the rider goes down, parents and fellow riders, just stay away. Just let the medic do what they need to do. Race number 80, 30 to 39 male, coming at you now. And that's a great gate from lane number 2, Sean Thompson, the Cambridge rider. He had it his own way around the odd time, but a great move there from the 426 board. Evan Peel swooping that turn, slotting himself into second. Things getting real bunched up around that turn now. It's Evan holding on to the second spot, but we look like we're getting tight for the third and fourth. As Evan coming up for a big challenge here on the first. Evan, a big challenge down that last straightaway. He'll hold on to second.
Dropping a gate on the 40 to 59 males on the 20-inch out in the Hamilton rider. That'll be none other than John Hayes. Scott Silver sitting in the 2 spot with the number 3 spot up for contention at the moment with the 117 sitting in the spot. But it's none other than, as they roll through, Scott Silver sitting on the 17 plate with the 117 just making us a guess onto and press as they're giving us double numbers. But it's none other than John Hayes sitting in the 1. Scott Silver in the mix on the 2 with the Hamilton rider sitting there on the 3 spot. That'll be a Grant Rennie in there as well, mixing it up. Darian Smith taking the 2.
Right, so Ben, Brad, Adam, and Greg out there at the moment. Oh, what a move there from we got the 621, Ben Watson, swooping around the inside of the turn. He's been pushed back into second now. His berm works real good. And has he got the rhythm? Has he got the rhythm? Skills to pay the bills down that third straight. It's a dice all the way for that top spot. 77 holding off this challenge. But what a race there from Ben Watson all the way to the line.
Race number 83, it's the 8 to 9 girls on the 20-inch out in the front. It looks like there's none other than Greta Shue, Pippa Walker out in the 1 spot, Hamilton rider. She's leading by a 3 across. It looks very strong. It's Greta sitting in the 2 as they're pushing it down. There's some Mountain Raiders in there, but it's going to be the 3rd spot that's going to be up for the mark. As it's sitting in the pocket, it's Greta, but coming through and breathing down her neck, that'll be none other than Violet Job, Alice Jeffrey in there from Rotorua with the Paige Whitelaw as well from the North Harbour. Stella Torrens out of Tauranga looking real good, sitting in the 3 as they're rolling it through. And Terria O'Leary from Cambridge taking her home, Pippa.
Right, so Sam, Jody, Sonia, and Caitlin and Jody giving each other a little bit of a challenge down that first straight. Caitlin holding on, Sam sitting back in 3rd, Sonia back in 4th. But right now, Caitlin coming down the rhythm straight, leading the sister, Jody, holding on to 2nd. Sam coming on with a bit of a challenge down that 3rd straight. Caitlin leading the way down that last straightaway. Jody holds on to 2nd. Sam back in 3rd.
Women under 23 as they push it through. Women under 23 as they push it through. Out front in the pack there, it's Penny hitting in the 1 spot. That'll be none other than a Brooke Penny sitting in the 1 spot. Selena sitting in the number 3 spot. Zoe Hartwell out there. Amber Romson on the 3-3-1 spot, sitting in the 2 spot. Selena sitting 3 with the 1-1-9. That'll be Zoe sitting in the 4 spot. Out in the front, it's Brooke Penny lighting it up. Molly Inna and Tanya Arnold in there from Tauranga as well. Brooke taking her home.
Right, 15 boys coming at you now. These are the guys with a whole heap of speed and even more skill to pull. And we got Barnaby action there over that first jump. But 420 holds on. That's Lucas Martini. He's getting a bit of action from the 230. That's the Oceania champion. Case Silver coming through on that second turn with a great firm move. Round the turn now and down the last straightaway. Case Silver coming under the pressure from 420. Lucas Martini. Thank God we've got transponders.
Oh, it's a 249 coming through on that one. Give him a round of applause. That's Cameron Wallace on that. That's Cameron Wallace out of Hamilton. So give him a round of applause as he comes through. These boys are built tough. Good to see him back up on his bike. Up on the gate, though, we have ourselves the 16 boys race number 87. All right, back into saddle. These boys are definitely blistering hot. Back in the saddle. These boys are definitely blistering hot as they push them through. Nice little work in there from the 257. They'll be riding through hard on that one. Nico Kogan come through there. Nice work as they roll it through. Would be nice if those numbers match the plates, but that's okay. It's cake for cake. It's Levi Banks sitting in the mix on the 2 spot. Nico sitting in the number 1 spot as they roll it through. Sitting in the 3 spot. Could be anybody's game, but it's out for the lunch as he's taking her down, and it's pack for pack, bar to bar, and packing a punch. These boys are fast and furious.
Right, race number 2 for the 16 boys. Coming at you with speed and skill around that first turn. That's a skinny digit, the NZ1, Deacon Connor from North Harbour leading the way. Coming around the second turn, it's the 175, holding on to the second spot at the moment. Not forgetting Pickford holding on to third in there. Pickford from Cambridge, he'll be looking forward to a bit of evening racing tonight on his home track. We see what that's for.
All right, dropping it on the 13 to 14 girls as we push it through here. We have ourselves Sophie Penny, Abby Storyfelling, and Courtney Smith, Maddie Newcomb, and Luca Peniata, Tiadamutu out in the front. It's a 1-9-1 sitting pretty on that one. It's Sophie Peniata, Tiadamutu on the 1-5-1. Luca Penny sitting in the 2 spot. Oh, a little bit of push through. It's a 1-5-1 sitting tight on that one. It's NZ number 1. Maddie sitting in there as well as he's pushing it on the 4 spot. Nice work as they push it down into the finish line, wrapping it up.
And 15, 16 girls coming at you now. Azaria, Madeline, Molly, Miller, Beth, and Sophie. And a real bunch up there as we get the NZ1. That'll be Beth Walker slotting it into that first spot. Round that second turn into that rhythm straight now. It's Beth Walker holding on 306, Madeline. Madeline coming under pressure from the outside here. High-low rider from there. And it's Madeline having to power away around the outside of that turn. But it's bar-to-bar action all the way through to the end.
Dropping it into the cruisers as we cruise into the cruisers. It's just a reminder for all those riders out there too. Riders to the pits as we throw it down into the cruiser section. So these ladies are 8 to 10 cruisers on a slightly bigger bike and laying it down. We have ourselves Donovan Wallace leading from the front as he pushes it down with the 3-2-1 sitting in the 2 spot. Nice work as it comes on back at us. Nice work in there. Rex Olsen also looking sharp as they get it back in the mix. Bowden Lamb is sitting in there as well, sitting in on the 4 spot, and Jacob Crosser, Nathan Clifford, and Donovan Wallace taking it home.
Right, and it looks like Matatini 563 out of North Harbour, shooting out of lane 1, having a great start and leads them down into that second straightaway. He's got a bit of action there from the outside though. Oh, Ryder sitting in second spot, flicking high lows and all sorts of action. Big manuals trying to get that rhythm going. Maratini holding on though, leading the way. Bit of action there in that third and fourth spot. Nice bottom-bar action as we go down the last straightaway between the third and fourth rider there.
All right, let's see who can flip it and kick it and seal the deal. It's Dylan Smith out there in the one spot. It's Dylan taking it down as he rolls it through. But in the two spot, trying to get out in heavy, it's the 701. That'll be none other than your Baden. Prescott is sitting in the mix there as well. Coming through will be Brock O'Neill. Tate Burden is in the number 4 spot, ripping it down, Sebastian Bastian. But out in the front, it's Dylan Johns looking sharp as the cruiser bikes are coming down to that finish line. Putting a little bit of weight in behind it and trying to get an extra place. It'll be across the finish line up to scores to see who takes that one home.
Some of these riders still got 21 motos to go, but we are on race number 94 right here at Hamilton BMX Club for our Waikato Championships, and it's the 13-14 cruisers out front. That's the match component rider holding on there. Leading the way, that would be Nico Ryan, I would say, as he comes around that second turn. We got the 4-3-1 looking for a way through. That's Liam Clifford from Tauranga. He's holding on to second now, but coming under challenge there from our rider doing a high-low. Clifford looks like he's gonna do enough to take away the second.
Dropping the gate on the big boys. It's 17-39. Cruiser males. We got JD Badass sitting in there. Sean Thompson out of Cambridge and Hayden Stockman, Sam Torrance and Zachary Arnold. Oh, we're going 4 across on the first corner. These boys mean business. Throwing it down. Cha-ching. Throwing some airtime on this one. Mixing it up and shooting it through. Nice work in there. Zachary Arnold, James Meller, and Corey Wedlin coming through, but putting down the steam and laying down on the 3 across, going into the corner. Unbelievable with a little bit of thread. Unbelievable marksmanship on these boys as we're coming through on the mix.
What a race. Even the mic getting excited and cutting out there, but we got our next batch of cruisers coming through, and it'll be the 223 board. Nick Jeffrey from Rotorua leading it out. The 372 chasing him down. Brad DeTheri, the Hamilton rider, coming at him strong down that rhythm straight. It's Nick out front, but our Hamilton rider, Brad DeTheri, giving him a good run down that last straightaway. And it's a Rennie lad out in 4th spot, looking for a bit of that action as well.
All right, 50-59 cruiser males going downtown on this one. It's Mark Harrisfield sitting in the 2 spot. Golden Wheels, Warren Bogus sitting in the mix on the number 4 spot out of Hamilton. In the Sunset Coast, there'll be none other than Craig Barrington sitting in the 4 spot at the moment. Wayne Shanks looking real sharp. Looks like he's got this one wrapped up tighter than a Mexican burrito out in the 1 spot. And it's Harry out in the number 2 spot, mixing it up. And in the 3, it's the Golden Wheels Bogus taking her home. But it's Craig Barrington sitting in the 4. Nice work from these boys. 59 cruise male.
Right, and race number 2 for the 50-59 cruisers. Coming around the turn with a nice tight line, the 71, Greg Hughes from Rotorua. But it's riders on the outside there. 71 under pressure now from 2 riders as we go bottom bar, 3 abreast down that last turn. Action galore as we swoop that last turn down the last straightaway. We've got 3 riders all dicing it out for that top spot. Looks like Hughes is going to take it away.
All right, 8-12 cruiser females as we're wrapping up the moto number 2. Getting back into the action as we see it through. That's Nessie Rennie in the 1 spot, bouncing like a kernel in a popcorn machine. We got ourselves Addie Barrington sitting in the number 3 spot. It's the Nady plate sitting in the 2 spot. That's Pernane Rennie. So Nessie in the 1, and it's Pernane sitting in the 2 with Addie Barrington out of Sunset Coast sitting in the 3 spot. And in the number 4 spot, it's the number 93, Stella Torrance coming out of Tauranga, looking real good. And it looks like a Paige Whitelaw out of North Harbor as well, coming through on the 4-6. But taking it home, it's Nessie Rennie out of Hamilton.
Right, we need all you little sprockets up at the gate, please. Sprockets up at the gate as we drop the gate number 100 for our 17-49 cruiser females. It's our World 1, Jeanette Davies, leading it out with the 119 board there of Zoe Hartwell from Mountain Raiders, giving her a good run. Jeanette Davies World 1 for all her skills and speed. Looking real fast out there, down that last straightaway. Great round there from our young rider from Tauranga. That's going to be Taylor Arnold swooping in to take that second spot.
Well, Fast and Furious Racing and crossing off on Moto number 2, hitting it down into Moto 3 as we get
your
into
little sprocket riders up there. We need to get racing underway.
Moto number 3 for 2025 Waikato Region Champs. So have a little break, have a little rest for all you out there in TV land. Get yourself some popcorn, get yourself a little drink of fizzle and sizzle. Have yourself a little relax for about 3.5 minutes, and we're back into the action. We can see the sprockets are up on the gate. If you are a sprocket rider, you need to get up there real quick. We're going into race number 101 for sprockets 5 and under. The 2025 Waikato Region Champs Hamilton Track. Coming up to you live.
Right, what a great concept. We've got 3 tracks in 2 days. Not short of 25 races for some of the riders. Double crossing there, JD?
Yeah, well, that's right. For all you that are just tuning in there out in TV land, we're hitting 3 tracks in 2 days. So, you know, it's just great to see the community getting in behind in the spirit. Hopefully our weather will pick up. We're a little overcast today down here in Hamilton with the wind is starting to come through. So a couple of those sections on the 3rd straightaway especially, they'll be feeling that wind pushing through on them. So the boys and the girls won't be going too heavy and too high on the jumps because they don't want to have those sails get ripped out and the bikes pushing them through. So it'll be keeping it low to the track, trying to just go for speed. As we roll it through here on race number 101, the sprockets 5 and under, we have ourselves Arlo Hudson out of New Plymouth, Tate Spooner in there from Te Aramutu, and Tate Spooner out of Te Aramutu, and Luke Pearson out of Hawke's Bay, Millen Brockton out of Cambridge, and Connor Sodgrass out of Cambridge as well. As the gate drops on these boys, we can see a little bit of head spinners, checkers, our wreckers as they come through. It's a shark in the tank sitting in the 2 spot trying to get his way through. Looks like he's got himself enough steam to get the whole shot position. Nice work in there from Arlo Hudson, pushing it down, but hot on his tail. It's the 349 plate. That'll be Tate Spooner looking for a little bit of a way on this one. Microphone check 1, 2. What is this? Everybody here getting down to business. Out in the front of the pack, it's the 390. That's Arlo Hudson looking real sharp. 349 sitting in the 2. That's Tate Spooner coming through on the 711. That's Connor Sodgrass out of Cambridge. Riders are looking real good, real clean racing on these boys. Taking it home is Arlo. In the 2, though, is Tate Spooner. Good work in there from a 711 coming through on Connor Sodgrass, taking the 3.
Right, second gate for our little dinky dudes. That's Summer, Charlie, DJ, and Bodie. These guys having great racing all morning so far. The 405, that'll be DJ Hunt. He's definitely been the man to catch out there. Leading the way at the moment as he comes down that rhythm straight. Pedal and pump is the order of the day for these little guys. 132 rider there, Bodie Mitchell from Tauranga. Sorry, I lied, from Tiamutu. Gets pushed back into 3rd spot. But it's our young man DJ leading it out. Not forgetting our little rider there, Summer Kian.
All right, drop the gate on the sprocket. 6 boys. It's Ezra Heath looking sharp. Harley Wallace in the mix as they come through. Out in the front of the pack as they come through. Back at us, it's Robin Zazinski coming down there on Harlan Daniels, but out of front as they make the plates. Nice. So it's 117. Harlan Daniels out of North Harbor looking real sharp. Sitting in the 2 spot as they come through. And we also have out in the mix on the 177 plate. That'll be none other than Patty Gilgren coming from Tauranga. Soul Boundary in the mix on the the 716 and the 15. Hunter Gardner out of Cambridge looking real good. Going for a little bit of a wave and into the crowd. We have the 151 taking the high line, but taking it out in the front is nice work in there from the 117. Harlan Daniels out of North Harbor taking her home.
Gates are filling up for the 7 boys. We've got Otto, Cohen, Jed, Blake, Quinn, Harry, and Ludo. And it's a great bar-to-bar action down into that first turn. Nice move there from our young man on the 114 board. That'll be Otto Peters from Tauranga. Holding on to the second. We got the Hamilton rider riding a nice tight line. He swoops in from the 4th spot into the second. It's Dice down the 3rd straightaway, but out front, the young man there with big manuals leading the way. Big battle on here for that 2nd and 3rd as they power their way down that last straightaway to take it into that.
All right, up at the gate here we have ourselves Sprocket 7 boys. Race number 105. Stacked and racked, you're going to need to get yourself a can opener out for this one. We got ourselves some serious competition, and she's strong. Nice hole shot in there from Freddie Stanfield in the number 1 spot out the gate, lightning speed. It's Hudson Hislop looking for an undercut, and it looks like he's thread the needle, taking her down on the 311 East City, sitting it down. Nice work in there. Just get my microphone back in the mix. It's Hudson Hislop sitting in the 1. It's Freddie Stanfield in 2 with a nice work in there from the Waitaki rider coming down on the track. That'll be none other than Sage Adams holding his own. Nice rhythm section in there from Freddie, getting some serious speed coming through, and he's also looking to take back that place. It's going to be bar-to-bar action down this finish line. Who's got the legs? Who's got the stamina? Oh my goodness, up to the top. It looks like Freddie's taking her home. Hudson taking the 2 with Sage taking the 3 spot.
Right, action all day. It's a Sprocket 6-7 girls. Eve, Nila, Ola, Nina and Madison. And it's a 180 of Nina from Rotorua, 360 there, Ola. She's all the way from Mountain Raiders. She's holding on to the 2nd spot. Dan giving a lot of support out there for his young rider. But out front, looks like it is going to be Nina Jeffrey leading the way from Rotorua with the big smiley face. Great to see all the happiness and stuff from these young riders as they come riding down that last straightaway to end their 3rd race of the day.
All right, 8 boys, and we have Sam Penning out of Te Aramutu looking real good in the mix. Out there is Oakley Mitchell, Liam Anderson, and Ashler Maloney coming through as these boys are hitting it up and coming through. Nice riding in there as they lighten it up. We have ourselves a nice little work in there from Liam James, the Marshmallow Man, nicknamed this boy's birthday all day long. Give this kid a round of applause. He's racing on his birthday, place to be. It's Liam James, the Marshmallow Man. He's soft on the outside, but he's hard on the inside. It's Maximillionaire Miles coming through on the 3 spot, lighting it up and looking for a way through. But these boys are definitely pushing down. It's Finn Hudson all day long, out in the 1 spot and taking her home on the 8 boys.
Right, 2nd gate of 8, it's Ryan Carter, Cruz, Jake Archer, Nico, Jacob and Caden. And they're bunching up as they come around that 1st turn. 909 leading the way out of it. That will be Archer Griffin from Cambridge. He'll be looking forward to a bit of evening racing tonight. 919 followed by 915. The 915 is Carter Phillips from Tauranga. Bit of action coming further back as our Te Amutu rider looks to move through the pack. But out front, it's Our rider 919, Archer Griffin from Cambridge.
All right, hitting it into the racing as we go through. These boys are calm and cool. They got ice in their veins. It's Daniel Chen leading it from the front of the pack. We got ourselves a good little race happening in behind the scenes as they're breaking it through. But it's Daniel Chen having his ways as he's putting on this one. Bowden Lamb with a nice little sneak through as he snakes it down onto that second corner into the rhythm section. This boy is lighting it up beautifully. Benjamin Horscroft, Hugo Bassett in the mix with Nico Rosenberg, Dylan Smith, and Ted Gilgren coming through on the mix. Daniel Chen taking it home with Bowden Land taking in the 2.
Right, and it looks like it's lane 1 and lane 5 where all the action's happening, but a great start there from Thorpe Pisso. He leads it out. That's a Hamilton rider. Our number 5 board there is Leo Charlton. He's a little bit further back from New Plymouth. He'll be looking to move up the ranks. 589 there, Jaden Verrett from Mountain Raiders, chasing down Thorpe Pisso, who's leading the way now though. Down that last straightaway, Thorpe Pisso, followed by Jared, and followed by our East City rider, Kingston Islam.
All right, on to the 9 boys. We have ourselves Vaden Broughton and Ben Hendricks tire tracks on his back, but it's out in the front. Oh, Logan, where's this kid coming from? Logan trying to, but losing some steam. It's Henry Hogg in the 3 spot at the moment. It's Logan sitting in the 2 spot, but it's Matthew. Logan's trying to thread the needle a double time, but he's just lost too much momentum on that one, with Matua definitely holding it down with a nice little run and getting a good line. Henry Hogg sitting in the 2 spot out of the North Waitakere rider, but it's the North Harbor rider sitting in the 1. Logan taking the 3 spot. Nice work as these boys roll through. Max Pocott also in the mix. Ben Hendricks and Evander Braxton.
Right, we got the 4 home track riders from Hamilton, Dom, Noah, George and Fletcher. We'll see what Otis and Oliver can take to them. And it looks like it's the NZ2 George Wu leading away there. That's the Hamilton rider, George. Diving down into that second turn. It's the 158 there. That's Otis from Carpety looking for a way to come through on George. High low from the rider in second. George goes wide. It's bottom bar action down that last straightaway. Who's got the pump to take it away? Transponder's calling.
All right, it's time to pump it up, getting the whole shot position with a good line. Caden McDonald looks like, oh, he's given way. Holding his line, though, it's Jackson Ropati. Strong competition out there. World number 2 with Caden McDonald coming through on the 2 spot. Nice work as they roll it down. Carter Mold in the mix out of Tiaraha. Jackson Ropati in the 1. Caden McDonald sitting in the 2 spot as he gets it back on the mix. Missed that plate, but it's Braxton Hughes out of Haroa sitting in the 3. Nice running in there. Nathaniel Clifford also mixing it up. But it's Jackson Ropati taking it. Cade McDonald is breathing down his neck, looking for a way.
Right, and it's second gate of 10 boys. Donovan, Charlie, James, Ethan, Connor, Roman, and Luca. And it's a nice dice there from Wallace. It looks like Donovan Wallace has written a clever line. Holding out on the inside is Donovan Wallace. Diving into that second turn now. But it's the 115 and the Oceana 7 of Luca Hudson from New Plymouth. Looking for a way. Wallace looks like he's holding it out. We got a bit of a challenge here in 4th spot from our Hamilton rider. Looks like Wallace has come under pressure though. And what a great finish.
All right, up on the gauge, 1-1-5, 10 girls, racked and stacked. We have ourselves a rider down, so just hold the gate, rider down, hold the gate. Now I heard they got the tuck shop is hot and sizzling, so if you want to get over to the tuck shop and splash the cash, make your way over there. If you brought yourself the lunch, hey, forget about it. Leave it for tomorrow. No need to have a lunch. The tuck shop is burning up some beautiful sausages and hot dogs and hamburgers over there, and some nice cold drinks to keep yourself hydrated and the rest of your family hydrated. Also, they have a beautiful coffee happening over there. If you want to make your way over and see Cycle Express and see Richard up there as well from the G Form, you'll be able to go through in a lock and load. Looks like the pennies are over there as well, so you'll be able to check it out and see if there's any nice new accessories for the bike that you'll be able to get, which is always nice. nice to be able to tune into and check out those accessories. So check them out. They're just out in the parking lot for everybody that is here. For those of you tuning in from TV Land, this is the 2025 Waikato Champs. We'll be running 3 tracks in 2 days with 326 riders on the way. We're up to, at the moment, race number 115, a Moto 3 in the 10 girls as they're up on the gate. Just a reminder to all riders, if you're on your bike, keep your helmets on.
We do have a little stand-on period. We're just waiting for medics and stuff to come back to us. So while we do have a stand-on period, take advantage, get down to that fabulous hut there, fill yourselves up with the burger or like JD says, nice pop. But great action out on the track so far. This is the first leg of 3. So we got Hamilton now and followed by Cambridge this evening. That'll be nice, and hot action going down at Cambridge this evening. And then tomorrow morning finishing it up in Tiamudu and wrapping up the finals. That'll be tomorrow morning. So as we say, 3 tracks in 2 days. Great concept, because every single track needing different skills and different kind of riding. So really interesting stuff to bring us our Waikato national champion. Sorry, our Waikato regional champion.
Test. Test. Just a reminder to the riders that are out in the parking lot. Remember, this is a parking lot, so just make sure you watch out for the cars that are out there. And for all of you that are driving in the parking lot, just a reminder that there will be riders that will be going up and down on the parking lot just to sort of cool their legs down or warm them up. So just be aware that there are riders in the parking lot. If you are in the parking lot riding your bike, just make sure you do have some form of a helmet on. Doesn't need to be full face, but a helmet will be necessary and required. You will get DQ'd if the marshal sees you without a helmet. So just a reminder for all of you out there in the parking lot to just watch out for the riders and just take care. Enjoy the rest of the day, and like I said, make your way over to that tuck shop when you have a chance. Splash the cash and get in there for some food. All proceeds will be going towards the club, so it's a fantastic way to support your local club. All you got to do is splash the cash and feed the belly. So get over there and help them out while you help yourself out. Big shout out to all the volunteers and to St. John Ambulance for coming through here and helping out. As we say, if a rider does go down on the track, please leave it to the professionals. They are trained and will be able to help your loved one in the time of need. We do not want to have a second or third casualty on the track. And just all those riders on first corner that are playing cars up there, please get those little children off the track. Now, as we get ready to roll into the race number 115, if we are pronouncing your name incorrectly, they do call me the Mad Butcher. So that'll be because I'm butchering your name. So if I am doing that, by all means, please come up to the point huts and fill out a complaint. We will be happy to be able to pronounce your name correctly in the time. So if we do it once, we apologize. If we do it 3 times, we're sorry. If we do it 4 times, look, there's probably a reason. So please, by all means, come on up and let us know if we are pronouncing your name. We do want to get that correct for you. And if you are having a birthday and you're here celebrating, by all means, come over. Let us know. We'll be happy to throw it down on the mic and let you put a little bit of happy birthday out there. So a big shout out to Liam James Marshmallow Man. He is turning 8 today, so the big 8 years old. Looks like the old infinity there. So the Marshmallow Man, they call him. He's a hard on the inside and soft on the outside. We also have none other than Matt Withington. And Matt Withington, hey buddy, happy birthday to you, Matt Withington. That's none other than Matt Withington. So a big shout out to Matt. It's his birthday. So if you see him, give him a kiss and a cuddle because he's looking for it on his birthday. That's Matt Withington.
Right, so we're just about ready to get going again. If we can have all our volunteers back out on track. Volunteers back out on track. And we'll get race number 115 of the day underway shortly. That'll be our 10 girls. Nice to see some full gates of girls coming through. And as we say, a big shout out to all the volunteers and stuff out there. These events don't just happen without your help, so fantastic to have the volunteers that we do. If you want to get involved, make sure you let your club presidents know and get involved, come on board. The more the merrier. Never have enough volunteers and never have enough people to make these great events as good as they are. We've got all kinds of activities for volunteers, from live streaming all the way through to commissar, track maintenance, medics. Just get involved, put your hands up.
All right, here we're back into the action, quick and fast, fast and furious. Lighten it up here. We got ourselves 10 girls. We have Ashlyn Lloyd coming in through there from Mountain Raiders with Bryn Rennie coming through there. Nice work. Hattie Barrington's holding on to the 1 spot with the 3 spot sitting in there. Ashlyn Lloyd sitting in the 2. Mountain Raiders. Looks like Hamilton sitting in the 3. Oh, Georgia Poe Edwards pushed on the outside, trying to work her way through. Mountain Raiders looking strong, but it's Georgia Poe coming through on the outside through that rhythm section. Hattie Barrington is going to have to hold it down 3 across. Georgia Poe is still trying to push her way down on this one. Hattie Barrington taking the 1. Georgia Poe Edwards fast on the gas, taking the 2 spot. Mountain Raiders, Ashlyn Lloyd taking on the 3.
Right, gates dropping fast and furious. Yeah, it's the 8-1-1 there of Jaden Pretorius sitting in the 2nd spot. He does a high-low there, and they come side by side now down that rhythm straight. We got the skinny digit NZ3, Tate Burden holding on to 3rd at the moment. But around there, Jaden Pretorius looking for a way through here. That's the Hamilton rider. JD Pretorius putting on a big challenge here, but that's a 3rd spot we're looking for. 1, 2, 3 riders dicing it out.
Dropping the gate quick on this one with a cheeky little look back. That's Mata out of North Harbour hitting in the 1 spot as they roll it through. Baden Prescott on the 308 sitting strong. And it's Dylan Johns coming through on the 3 spot. 308's looking for a little bit of way through, but it's going to be shut down as he comes through. It's Dylan Johns with some speed and some momentum coming through high on the corner. Dylan Johns definitely got some revolutions on this one and firing on all cylinders. But it's Mata taking it home with Baden Prescott taking the 2. Dylan taking the 3.
Race number 118, Olivia, Savannah, Cameron, Mika, and Leah, and it's going to be Mika leading the way. Holding off the challenger, but we've got a bunch of riders diving into that 2nd turn now. It's the 751 making the, 757 making the leads way. That'll be our rider, Leah Mold from Tauranga. Out front though, it's our young lady, Miss Wallace. Diving down, it's still a battle out there for that 4th place. Great to see action all the way.
Quick on the draw as they roll it through here. It looks like we have ourselves a Ruby Buckley sitting in the 3 with the number 2 spot sitting in the 2. That's Olivia Anderson, but it's our Hamilton rider hitting it hard. That's Amelia DeTheory in the 1 spot and looking, charging as she's coming through this one, picking up the steam as she goes in, throws herself into the 3rd corner, lighting it up, and it's none other than your Olivia Anderson taking in on the 2. Ruby Buckley having to settle for the 3. Mia Grant in on the 4.
Right, race 120 out there now. Looks like that's our young rider from Cambridge leading the way. We've got 247 Jackson getting in the mix with Josh and Jack. But right now, it's the young rider there from Hamilton, Monty Gardner, around that last turn. A big challenge from our 2nd place rider. He has got the rhythm and he's taking the challenge to him. Great race from those MCs.
Nice riding in there from Max Whitelaw, just pushing his way through on that one and holding his line strong with a pedal manual over the top. Looking for a push through on the 446. That's Max Whitelaw in the 1 spot. Coming through on the 2 spot. Nice work on that plate as they come back through. It's a 905. That's Alex Shanks hitting it hard. Baxter Arthur and Lucas Johns, Nathan Swain and Tyler Cochran out of Tauranga looking real good, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a drag race as they push it through onto the finish line. Oh no, he's lost himself, his wheels, and got tangled and fangled on that one. Alex Shanks having to get back on his bike, but he looks like he's okay as he gets through.
Right, and it's Jai Martini out in race 122 leading the way. He's just ahead of Sebastian Bassett from North Harbour. But part of our action coming down that 3rd straight with a 305 rider on the inside. That's Finn Barrington from Sunset Coast. He's holding on to that 3rd spot at the moment. It looks like Jai Martini going to take that one out.
Nessie Rennie looking real sharp in there on the 1 spot with the Mountain Raiders coming through. Nima Lloyd on the 2 spot. It'll be a push to the finish line to see who takes the number 3 spot as they go a bar-to-bar action across the line on coming into that 2nd corner and throwing themselves like a voodoo dolls into that one. But out in the front there, that'll be Nessie Rennie looking sharp, but breathing down her neck and gaining the momentum. Nima Lloyd on the 80 plate. Also looking good is Kelly Mellor out of Christchurch and Peyton Carroll in the mix out of East City.
Right out there now. Who's the skinny digit 1W1 of Addison Harrowfield from Mountain Raiders in the 12 girls. Race 2. Harrowfield followed by the 02 board of Lexi Silva. Lexi Silva riding out of New Plymouth. And Harrowfield, Mountain Raiders, looks like she's holding on for the win.
Race number 125, 13 boys. Rico coming through on the one as he gets the whole shot position and slamming himself into that furnace corner with the F531. Jared Rennie in the mix with the 273. Connor O'Brell in there, and John O'Hanson coming through on the 51 plate. And it's the Charlie Withington in the number 2 spot. These boys are going tail to tail and dime for dime, looking for a little bit of extra line as he comes through, but apexing it down. It's Rico Ryan taking in the one.
Right, and it looks like it's the rider out of gate 3 on the 122 board. That's Nixon Banks leading the way now. 164 coming hard at him around that second turn. Banks leading the way, 164, and then followed by the 88 board of Jack Buckley from Mountain Raiders. Then we've got a big challenge here with the riders in 4th, 5th and 6th spot, battling it out 3 abreast around that turn. Banksy leading the way with a bit of air over those jumps. But it's the 5th, 6th, 7th riders fighting it out for those.
All right, 10 toes in on this one. It's Ben Anderson out to win it on the 111 plate, sitting in the 1 spot, breathing down his neck. It looks like that it'll be none other than the strong bike Oliver Donaldson, Liam Clifford, and Darian Wolford, and Jack West as he's pushing it down on the mix. It's a 1-3-1 and coming through with a nice line. Liam Clifford is getting high to the low. Does he have the momentum to let her go? Ripping it down, and in the saddle though, that's Ben Anderson out of East City taking the 1.
Right, it looks like it's race 128 there. Riders 17 to 20 male coming at you now. 193 board round that turn, leading it out. 193 followed by the 511. And then we've got our rider on the Speedco machine holding on to 3rd, diving down that large straightaway. Our rider with a bit of air to take it up.
All right, this one will be a revolutionary ride as they're throwing it through on this one, going tight. The boys in black onto the attack out in the 1 spot. He's holding it in there. That'll be Tom Coleman coming through. Nice work in as they slamming it. Brock the Bomber throwing down some airtime, picking it up. It's a Nelson Brothers Racing in the 2 spot on the 3-6, looking sharp on. That's Angus Thompson looking real clean. Tom Coleman though holding the 1. Scott Donaldson and Brock the Bomber Nelson and Kai Timoana in the mix on there as well. Corey Weddelin and Max Richardson out of North Harbor.
$30 to $39 male in the race 130 coming at you. It's Vince, Avon, Shane, Sean, Rick, and Russell. And it looks like it's a 436. Avon Peel slotting back into 2nd now. He found himself out there in that last motor with a great turn. It's the 716 out front. That'll be Sean Thompson from Cambridge. He's been leading the way all day. He's a man of beat, setting down that front running spot. But Peel coming under pressure for that 2nd spot. Looks like he's done enough to take it away.
All right, into the mix on the 40-54. That's 71 plate. Greg Hughes sitting in the 1 spot. 75 taking in the 2 spot as he rolled it back at us. That's Adam O'Leary out of Cambridge. Nice work in there from the 621 as he's rolling. Ben Watson's done this one once or twice before, showing it down and showing these boys taking it down on the high side. It's the Hamilton rider picking up the steam. Nice work in there on the 81. It's Grant Rennie taking in on the 3.
Right, so John Hayes and Silver have been battling it out for that 1st and 2nd spot. Hayes looks like he's got the hold shot once again. Big air over that double. That's his home track, don't forget. We got the New Plymouth rider, Silver, sitting in 2nd, but keeping him real honest. And coming up there in that 3rd and 4th spot, we've got Brad and Darren. But out front, Hazy gonna take the win.
All right, let's see who gets that full shot position, who wants it more, who will be sparkling the champagne on this one and pop the top. These girls are battling it, definitely laying down the law. It's Pippa Walker, Hamilton girl. She is definitely born and bred and laying it on her pure, but it's Greta coming through on the Mountain Raiders, sitting in the 2 spot. It'll be the 3 spot that's up for contention at the moment. Strong competition on these girls. Nice little work in there from the 9-1-2 plate coming down. That's a Violet job, definitely putting it in the mix, and she's got the 3 spot at the moment, but she needs to keep that speed rolling with Pippa taking the 1.
Right, let's get our sprockets up to the gate, please. Get our sprockets up there for the 4th minute. But coming out you right now is a 25 to 44 females. It's Caitlin, followed by a big battle here in the 2nd spot between Sam and Jody. Not forgetting Mama Rennie there in the 4th spot. We've got Caitlin out front. Sam followed by Jody. Sam and Jody been battling it out all day. Caitlin looks like she's got enough to take it away.
Oh, Amber's trying to get a little bit of work in this one, but she's going to be tighter than a pickle jar on this. Amber's hitting in on the 2, Selena sitting in the 3, but none other than a Penny sitting in the 1 spot. Definitely charging it hard, firing on all cylinders all day long. Amber's going to have to settle on the 2 spot. Selena sitting in on that 3, but there's nothing like a Brooke, a Penny firing it down on the 1 as they roll it through. Zoe Hartwell sitting in the 4, and Molly Inna sitting in nicely. Well done, ladies.
Right, a full gate of 15 boys, and they all nice and tight. Throw a blanket over them over that jump. But at the 420 board, that's Lucas Martini from Mountain Raiders leading the way. Through her best as they dive in. That's Silver sitting in that 2nd spot now with the 822 board chasing them down. That's Caleb White from Hawke's Bay. Silver in 2nd. Hawke's Bay man there. Caleb in 3rd. Coming with a big challenge. But out front, the 420 board taking it home, Luca.
All right, as we go through here, bar to bar onto that 1st corner, these boys are throwing hard. It's the Nelson brothers out in the front of the pack as he rolled it through. It'll be Deacon McCormick in there, Kobe Russell out of Cambridge, Levi Banks on the 195 plate, Zeb Pickford holding it strong out in the 1 spot, but these boys are tight as it's a clean race and pushing it all the way to the finish line. It's anybody's game for the 3 spot, but look at that roll.
Liam, Nico, Jamie and Deacon around that 1st turn. That's the 267 board leading it out. It would be nice if the riders rode the boards they were on, but it looks like Deacon Khan is in 2nd spot, looking out for big challenge there. Around that last turn, Deacon Khan putting on big challenge on 267. Taking it out, 267, Deacon in 2nd.
All right, sitting in that lane 2, it's Luca Penny. Looks like she's trying to hold on to this one as they get into this tight corner. It's anybody's show at this moment. They are chasing down the 1 in there at the moment as they push into that 2nd corner. It looks like, oh, a nice little push and undercut as they go through, but it's going to be who's got the strength, who's got the power, who's got the stamina, and it looks like it's a push to the finish line as a lactic acid starts to build up in these ladies' legs, and it's a nice little run in there. Maddie Newcomb and Sophie Penny, Courtney Smith fishing it down.
Right, and it's Betty Walker there leading it out for the 15-16 girls. She's our Cambridge rider with the NZ1 board. And joining her in this race is Miller, Azaria, Sophie, Madeline and Molly. And Betty leading the way around that last turn, powering out. That will be the 3rd race of the, 3rd win of the day.
All right, as we roll into the cruisers, that's just a reminder for all of the sprockets to head on up to the start gate. That's sprockets to the start gate. With Donovan Wallace in the cruiser, sitting in the 1 spot on the 147. We also have in the mix coming through on the 321. Easy as that. He's lightening it up, and the license plate does not match the spreadsheet, but that's cool. We got Bowden Lamb sitting there in the 3 spot. Nice work in there from Rex Olson, Jacob Crawford out of Tauranga, and Hugo Bassett out of North Harbour, Nathaniel Clifford out of Tauranga, but it's Donovan Wallace taking her home. Up on the gate, race number 147.
5 riders coming at you for the 11 to 12 cruisers. And that'll be Matstini shooting out the gate there. He's our North Harbour rider. He's been having it out in the front of his own all day. 7:01, Baden Prescott on Black Betty, sitting there in second. A little bit of a challenge there from the 837. That'll be Brock O'Neill from Tiamudu as well. So we've got 2 Tiamudu riders sitting back in second, with Matatini powering his way, working that machine of his over the last jump to take the win.
All right, we have ourselves the 11 to 12 cruiser males as we go. Dylan John's getting a good lead on this one as we roll it through, but it's going to be anybody's game with Jordan Dawson snaking himself through there. Looks like he's got that undercut and has just moved himself. Oh, he's lost himself a pedal. Tate Burton on the inside, taking it through and also looking at snaking it. Looks like he's just undercut it and Tate Burton in the lead. Jordan Dawson has able to regain himself. Not only has he thrown himself down on the pedal, but he's just gone from 3 down to 2, and he's looking to try and take home a 1 spot. Tate Burton sitting in the 1 at the moment. Jordan Dawson picking up the speed and sitting in on the 2. Cha-ching over the finish line.
Right, and that's Rico Ryan leading the 13 to 14 cruisers into that tough first turn. Bottom action, 3 riders abreast as they come past the commentary here. It's 3 riders diving into that second turn. Rico Ryan leading the way. 133 looks like he is, 131 Liam Clifford from Tauranga looks like he's sorted out the pack and he's slotted into second. Rico Ryan with some nice composure, great skills over that last straightaway, takes it off. Right, if you're a strider or any other rider, make your way to the pits because we want to get Moto 4 underway.
Slapping down the gate on this one, 17 to 39, a cruiser males. Hayden Stockholm out of Hamilton. James coming through on Christchurch. Sean Thompson out of Cambridge and Zachary Arnold out of Tauranga. With JD Badass coming through there out of the Waitak. Corey Weddleton out of Sunset Coast and Sam Torrance. Oh, a nice little push on this one, slamming it through, and he looks like he's got the power down on this as he's slamming it into the finish line. Nice little nose manual over top of the tabletop, but he's got the power and he's got the moves. Finishing it up, 17 to 39, cruiser males. Tricks are for kids, they say.
Lots of skills being shown on that age group. And it's a 44 to 49 male, 146. We got Jock, 100, Johan, Grant, Brad, Nick and Daniel. And out there, it looks like it's a 372 board as they go down. Riders down on the second straightaway. That looks like Brad taking a tumble, opening the door for 80 for 55 there. 55 Jacques from Hamilton out in front, chased by the 223 board of Nick Jeffrey from Rotorua. Nick Jeffrey come with a big challenge. Over the line they go.
All right, up on the gate there, into the racing action. It's race number 147. It's the 50 to 59 cruiser males. All right, we've just had a rider down, so we're just having the medics just to double check to make sure that rider is okay. So that is a 3-7-2. That's Brad DeFury there. That's Brad DeFury. So he's just getting checked over from the St. John's crew. Up on the gate is race number 147. As they prep and get the track all sorted and make sure that it's all fine and ready to go for the next riders. Wind is starting to pick up out here, Andrew, so riders are having to contend with that. I did feel some good drafts and whipping it through, so that their bikes are like sails as they throw through and get some airtime.
Yeah, and the riders are generating a bit of wind themselves as they swoop past us here on the second straight. Got a fantastic spot to watch all the action. It's a great spot to be for the first round of the Waikato region champs. Not forgetting this afternoon we head over to Cambridge.
And it looks like Brad is okay. Give him a round of applause as he's walking himself off the track. So
we'll-
that's good to see. All right, as we
And
roll.
that's 50 to 59 cruisers. We got Warren, Dion, Mark, Craig, and Paul. And around the turn, it looks like it's Dion Newth. Dion Newth leading the way. I would say that's Paul Luttrell on the 701, sitting in second, working that machine of his, with the number 2 board there of Warren Boggess battling it out for the 4th spot. Boggess being pushed wide on the turn. Great berm work. Disgusted with himself as he goes wide on that turn and loses out on the 4th spot.
Race number 148, nice little start in there from the middle of the pack. That'll be none other than Wayne Shanks, but these guys are going bar to bar. They're going to keep pushing until their lungs give out. It's out in the front. It's the 71 plate, but Wayne trying to take her back. Greg Hughes is sitting in the 1. Wayne Shanks is going high to low, threading the needle, and a little arch-barge happening on this one. It's a rhythm section that will separate these boys. Shake and rattle and row, and it's shake and bake till the finish line. Nice work in there from the Wayne Shakes, taking her home. Greg Hughes is settling for the 2 spot. Back to the drawing board on that one. Darren Smith and none other than James Pocock.
Right, and a nice difference here where we got 8 to 12 female. Hattie Page, Perrine, Nessie, and Stella. And it looks like it is our 2 Rennie sisters out front. Nessie and Perrine. But we've got some action happening a little bit further back in that 3rd and 4th spot with the 305, Hattie Barrington. These girls double classing, don't forget. Working really hard to finish the day right here in Hamilton.
All right, speaking of Hamilton, we're back on the track on the race. Number 150 is the 17 to 49 cruiser females. Pushing it down in there, world number 1, showing it down and paying the bills. It's Jeanette Davies, world number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Just to repeat that, that's world number 1, showing it down on the 119, chasing it on that one. That'll be Zoe Hartwell on the 2 spot out of Mountain Raiders. These ladies are definitely dressed to impress at this one, but it's Jeanette taking her back. A little bit of arch-barge happening on this one. Could be a drag race to that 2nd line, but it looks like Zoe could just get out from a nose up to scoreboards to see that one. Wrapping it up for Moto number 3, we have ourselves Sprockets up on the top of the board. For all you out there in TV land, now is your time. Take about a half-a-minute break, and we'll be back into the racing quick smart with our 2025 Waikato Region Champs. We are now in a Moto number 4 in Hamilton, coming to you live. As we scroll on through on the rest of the day, we will be hitting 3 tracks in 2 days. Next track to hit will be our Cambridge track, hitting tomorrow over at the none other, the notorious, the Tiaramutu track.
Right, we need volunteers out there for the Moto number 4, so Moto 4 volunteers. Back your switch now while we have a little breather. Been an action-packed morning already, and no doubt the racing will continue to be just as exciting this evening, finishing up tomorrow in Tiaramutu.
Well, that's right. These tracks are quite different. You know, your Hamilton track is quite condensed. As we scroll on through into the Sprockets,
right, we got the Sprockets, 5 Millen, Connor, Luke, Charlie, and DJ as they shoot it out for the last race of this round here in Hamilton. And it looks like it's DJ once again out front. He's had a fantastic morning of racing. Charlie Watson, his Hamilton buddy, sitting there in second. We got Luke and Connor, followed by Millen, all fighting out there, giving us some great skills shown by these little dinky dudes. This is where it all starts, the beginning of BMX and the long career they have ahead of them. DJ Hunt, Hamilton. Sorry,
all right,
from North Harbour, taking it away.
Sprockets 5 up and under. Arlo Hudson is in there out of New Plymouth. Shark in the tank, looking like he's looking over his shoulder there because he's got himself a little bit of, having a slam on the brakes. It's the 349 holding his line on this one. Tate Spooner, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, but it looks like he could be getting a little medicine paid back here from the New Plymouth rider. Trying to do a little push through on the 390 plate. Nice work in there from Arlo Hudson, slamming it down, and it looks like he's got that rhythm section. It's where it's separated from these boys. Got to keep them separated, but it looks like Arlo Hudson sitting in the 1 spot as we go through. It's Tate Spooner sitting in the 2 spot. Nice work in there from Summer Kane out of Pyro and Bodie Mitchell.
7 riders bring out race number 153 in the 6 sprockets. Robin, Holland, Paddy, Sol, Hunter, Harley, and Ezra. And it looks like it's the 177. That's Paddy from Tauranga, leading the pack as they dive down into that second turn. Out front, 177, and that'll be the 191 board. He's Harley Wallace from Topo, holding on to second. Lots of pedal and pumping action going down that third straightaway. Out front, Paddy leading the way. Looks like he'll hold on.
Sprocket 7 boys as we go through here. Just knee-eye to a grasshopper as these boys are picking it up. Freddie Stranfield sitting in the 2 spot. Mountain Raider sitting in the 3. East City sitting in the 1 spot as they roll through on the 312. Looking real clean. That's Jasper Sweetman looking sweet as he comes on down. It's Hamilton Rider trying to get a breath in. It's his track and he's laying it down. Freddie Stranfield in the 2 spot, and it looks like he's gaining some serious speed on that rhythm section. Hudson Hislop is in the 1 spot at the moment, but Freddie's got his target and senses lined up for him to roll it through, coming down to the finish line.
Right, Sprocket 7's another gate of these guys, and it's a full one. It's a gate of 8 with Harry Cohen, Blake, Luke, Sage, Jordan, Otto, and Quinn. And it looks like it's the 841 Sage Adams from White Tackery out in front. White Tackery leading it there. Nice tight line there. That's the 572 board of Blake McMurtry. He dives down into second, but he's getting a bit of attention now as they come down into that third turn. The riders are really bunching up and fighting it out for that podium spot. But it looks like our young man there, Sage Adams, holding it out, taking it away.
Sprocket 6 to 7 girls, race number 156. That looks like that's Nina Jeffrey on the 180 plate. Less that she's out in the front there with a 360 all day long, sitting in the 2 spot. Orlo Lloyd out of Mountain Raiders. Nice work in there on the GT rider as they roll through, and we'll get her license plate as she picks it back and comes around back at us on the 765 plate. That'll be Madison Walker out of Hamilton, looking good. Eve Spence is riding very nicely with Mila Keene in there from Pyro, also looking sharp. It's the 761 in the mix as well. 781 Eva Spence out of Hamilton. Laying it down the tracks, this is the ladies coming through for the Sprocket 6 to 7 girls.
Right, a full gate of 8 for the 8 boys. Race number 157 looks like Finn Hudson from lane 1. Taking away the hold shot, he dives in. He's got a bit of a challenge there from the 574 from Hamilton. That's Liam Anderson. Then we've got a conglomerate of riders diving into that turn together. Right out there though, it's the number 4 board, Finn Hudson, 574, followed by the 175. But it's Finn Hudson from New Plymouth leading it away down that last straightaway. The riders go tumbling in the third turn. But a big challenge there all the way through for the 3rd, 4th, 5th spot.
8 boys as we mix it up on this one. And it's
Rider is down. Rider is down.
Stacked and racked. Hey, just for the riders that out on the track as they come through, just be aware there is a rider down with Maximilianaire Miles sitting in the 1 spot as we roll it down. Nice work in there on the number 2 spot as he's trying to get through, but shutting down the door is Max out of East City on the 919 plate. There is a rider down, boys, just a rider down as they come on through. That's Archer Griffin out of Cambridge, Liam James in there, Caden Torrey and Sam Painting, Cruz Kane out of Pyro, and Asher Maloney coming in the mix, but it'll be a push to the finish line for the 2 spot. Nice work in there. Is he holding his line up to scores to see who takes that one?
Big round of applause there for our young man who took a tumble. Great to see him bounce up, and we'll no doubt see him fighting it out in Cambridge this week. Gate goes down for the 9 boys, and we're looking for that 3-5-1 of Thorpesor. Oh, he dives into the turn first, but it's the number 3 board giving him a good run. That's Henry Hogg from Waikato. Waikato rider going strong there in that second turn with the 115. Oh, man from Cambridge, Rio. Rio's holding on to third, but Thor down that last straightaway now with some nice big manuals over those doubles. And a bit of air to round off his day.
All right, heat number 2 for the 9 boys. Ted Gildren coming through. Kingston Hislop sitting in there. Logan looking like he's getting squeezed by Jaden and Kingston. It's Jaden in the undercut position. Oh, nice little work in there from Jaden coming through from Mountain Raiders. Kingston Hislop on the inside. Going to have to thread the needle. Logan is going to be gaining some speed on this rhythm section. Do not count that boy out. Nico Rosenberg. Benjamin Horscroft is coming through. Logan's picking up the steam with Ben Hendricks. But it's Kingston and Jaden at the moment battling for that 1-2 spot. Logan sitting tight on the 3 spot. Beautiful riding in there from these boys. Definitely lightning speed as they push it to the finish line. Jaden taking the 1.
Right, and shooting it out there is the 111 board. Matuini leading it. Sorry, is it Mato Nui? Leading the way there on the 111 board there, but there's a 115 coming hard, and that is Daniel Chen from North Harbour. He's sitting back in second, and then we got the 199 board there, holding on to that 3rd spot. That'll be our NZ5, Leo Charlton, all the way from New Plymouth, dicing it out for 3rd.
Nice work in there from these boys. We have ourselves NZ number 2, George Wu, with a nice little undercut in there from Jackson Roputty. But Jackson had the outside, and looks like he had a little bit more speed as he rolls it through, as he's giving a little push to the side. And it looks like a George Wu with a nice little undercut happening in there from the 1 plate, 115. That's Roman Thompson lighting up a Roman candlestick. This guy's got some firecrackers in his pocket, and he's saving it there for the finish line because it's a drag race. Jackson Roputty hitting it on the 1 with George Wu taking in the 2, but it'll be to the top. See on scores who takes it home.
Right, and it's been those purple pants been leading the way all day, and the younger rider there having a great start, and awesome rhythm down that second straight. Nice tight turn. Now he goes down there the 3rd straight away, putting in some manuals, doing the hard work. Big air into that 3rd turn as we got a challenge up there for that 3rd spot. Our rider takes it, a nice tight turn. That'll be the 57 there of Nico Martini coming, finishing strong to take away 3rd.
Getting into the 10 boys and dropping the gate on this one. Lean, mean, and like a fight machine. It's Donovan Wallace out on the 147, but the 156 is definitely putting it down hard. That's Oshas Rohi coming through from a Capital. He looks like he's putting it into the mix as anybody show as they come through that rhythm section. Oh, shaking it up and getting the speed into his sails. He's got to get hard onto this corner. Oh no, he's lost himself. Too much momentum. And it looks like Donovan's taking it home on that one. Noah Perry and Carter Mold and James Anderson, Jacob Crawford and Charlie Mitchell. Otis having to settle out of the game on that one, but definitely putting the heat on it.
Right, and it's 165, and we're looking at the lane 1 and lane 6. That's our Mountain Raider, Aislinn Lloyd, having a great start, but some fantastic berm work there from Hattie Barrington sliding into second. That's Georgia out there though in first. Hattie sliding down into second with the Hamilton rider there coming in the 3rd. That'll be Holly. And a Mountain Raiders rider, Aislinn, looking like she wants to move back up into those top spots with the 3rd finish. But Georgia Poe Edwards takes the win.
All right, fasten up, ladies and gentlemen. This one's going to be quick. It's 11 boys. It's Matt out in the front, out of the North Harbour. Harris O'Leary coming, Nat Mays coming in, Enzo Torrance on the 308 plate, sitting in the 2 spot at the moment. It's Baden Prescott breathing down his neck, trying to kick his way through, but it's Matt having it his way. Jordan Dawson with a nice little snake through, looking for a 3 spot. This kid's fast through the rhythm section, and he's going to be able to hold on to it, but it's going to be anybody's show for that 3 spot with another little undercut. This guy's definitely class to class. It's fast. It's bar to bar action. action on this drag race for that number 3 spot. Looks like Jordan Dennison taking it out. That's taking the 1 spot.
Right, and the 7 riders out in the 11 boys. It's getting real tight as they come round. It's the 357 board of Audi. He's out front. Losing the spot though. That's 670 with some great work around that turn. Dylan Johns, the mountain raider, working hard in that second turn. And down now into that last straight. Dylan Johns working his bike over the last couple of jumps to take it away.
All right, this is interesting. These are the 11 girls here. We have ourselves the Mighty 11s into this one. We got ourselves some team racing, but at the moment, these girls are out to slaughter it for themselves. They are gunning for Mika Wallace at the moment, with the Mika in the 1 spot, with the Hamilton rider sitting in, Amelia DeThieri in the number 2 spot, Ruby Buckley hard on the 3 spot, and it looks like that's none other than your NZ number 2, Olivia Anderson, out of Mountain Raiders, hitting it, and on the 4 spot. Beautiful riding in there from Mika Wallace, laying down the tracks and holding that one tight. 11 girls.
Right, it looks like a great start there from lane 6, Maya Grant from North Harbour. She slots herself into that top spot. And then we got the 251 and the 88, sorry, the 68 of Lily. Lily on the inside there, 68 board, dives down on the inside, slots herself into second. It's a 757, Liam Mold from Tauranga looking for a way into that podium spot. That last podium spot, but out front, it's Mia Grant coming under a lot of pressure there. Mia Grant working hard to try and hold on. Great ride from the 11 girl.
12 boys from the outside in. It's Sebastian Bassett coming in through there. But they go 3 across on the 727 coming in on the mix. Thomas Ford trying to lay it down into the 2 spot on the corner. Looking like it's the 727 looking sharp. Landon down is playing. Marty Gardner coming in. Jack Harmon. Also Lucas Johns out of New Plymouth sharking it out. Nathan Swine coming through there from Sunset Coast. But in the 1 spot, Sebastian all day long holding it down.
12 boys bringing it down now, and that's Tobias Dickinson out of lane 1, slotting himself into 3rd. He's on the inside though. We got the Topo rider flicking a high-low, the 912 looking, that's Tyler Cochran. He's bar-to-bar action now. It's the 256, sorry, the 426 Tobias Dickinson from Waikato sitting in 2nd. Topo rider of Cochran going wide and being pushed out there. Tobias Dickinson finishing strong here to put on a big challenge, and it wraps up the 12 boys. Moto 4.
12 boys shake, rattle, and roll. We got ourselves a riser on the mix. It's Jai Martini on the 88, played out of Mountain Raiders, sitting it tight in the 1 spot on the 446 coming through. It's Max Whitelaw out of North Harbour looking real strong. But going high, going low. It looks like he's trying to get down the pedal. Who knows which way he's going to go, but it's a Mabel rider sitting on the 323. Nice work, Braxton Arthur coming out of Tauranga, looking for a little bit of a steam and a drag race to the finish line. But nice in there. Jai Martini taking the 1 spot on the 12 boys.
And it's a W1, Addison Harrifield having a great start out of lane 1. We got Nessie Rennie, Peyton, Aria, and Elise in the mix too. It's the number 3 board, Nessie Rennie from Hamilton, trying to chase down that World 1 plate holder, Addison Harrifield from the Mountain Raiders. Sitting back there in 3rd spot, we've got Peyton Carroll and Aria and Elise rounding that up. But out front, World 1, Addison Harrifield.
All right, picking it up and putting it back down again, just like dropping the mic. It looks like Lexi's going to be out in the 1 spot. Shadows can't keep up with these girls. It's nice riding in there from the Mountain Raiders, holding it down tightly on that. Nima Lloyd in the 2 spot with none other than the Arla coming through on the 3, snaking it back from the 4 spot. But out in the front, it's Lexi having it her way all day in the 1. In the number 2 spot, Mountain Raiders looking good. Nima Lloyd is going to be settling on that spot, but it's the 3 spot. It's anybody's show. 12 girls.
Right, coming out of lane 1, Charlie looking to give his dad a birthday present with a win here. That's Charlie sitting in there back in 3rd spot though, to 57, having a great ride there. Jono Hansen sitting in the 2nd spot. He has left the gate open, and Jono Hansen's going to have to fight hard here for a plot. Here comes Withington. Hansen putting on a challenge here for that 1st spot. Withington putting on a challenge for the 3rd. Great ride from the 13 boys.
All right, hitting it on the mix. It's the 14 boys. It's Nixon Banks on this one as he's rolling and he's turning and burning. He's trying to loosen his load. He's got himself 7 riders on his mind. 4 that want to beat him and 2 that want to meet him and 1 that's trying to steal his race line. It's Nixon Banks at the moment, lighting it up. Beautiful riding from this boy. He's out and bound. It's his home track and he's laying down the tracks all day long. First Garner in the mix, Emerson, Ohio, and Liam Clifford, and none other than Tyler Grant.
Right, second gate of 14 boys. There's 7 of them out there. And it's all been led by 911. Ben Anderson. He's booked it out and looking for that gap down that last, the third straightaway. 164 chasing him down. Anderson, 911 holding on there though. Nice move there from the rider 88, diving on that. Jack Butley working that turn. Having a go, leaves the door open and swoops the second.
Speaking about doors, these boys are shutting them down out this one. Looks like it's going to be the license plate of the 361 sitting in on Angus Thompson. This boy is glory bound at the moment, sitting in the 1 spot. He's untouchable with the 223, trying to get in on the mix. It's James Wallace out of Hamilton. He's thinking, where does this boy come from? It's Angus doing a nice little nose manual over top of the tabletop. Rocking it in, it's Richard Lewis and Corey Wadling and James Wallace coming through.
Right, second game, 17 to 29 male, and that looks like it was Tom Coleman having a great start. Nice berm from 511. That, 541, Zachary Arnold, he slots into third. Donaldson back and forth, but out front, it's Tom Coleman leading the way. Fast as on that third straight. Now down into the last straightaway. Coleman coming under a bit of pressure. Great finish from those riders. 17 to 29, they'll look to finish their challenge tonight.
All right, in the mix, it's the 30 to 39 males, 20-inch with the 746 in the lead as they're pushing it down with the airtime on that one. Hitting it down, that's Sean Thompson out of Cambridge. As they pick it up and putting it down, it'll be none other than the 4 plate sitting 426, sitting Avon Peel trying to get in there. It looks like he's going to have to settle for the number 2 spot at the moment. It'll be a bar to bar. No, tight racing to the finish line. Up to scores.
Right, so Hayes finds himself out in front yet again. That's the Hamilton rider leading bike number 81. That's Grant Rennie. He's having a great ride. This one is sitting in second spot. Rides a nice berm move in there. That's 621 looking for a way around. That's Ben Watson. Ben Watson's been flicking some great berm moves all day. But out front, Hayes, Rennie, Watson.
Oh, packing a punch out to lunch. These boys are out the gate, rock solid. Scott Silver's definitely launched himself on this one, but it's a nice little snake move on the 71 plate. Greg Hughes is getting himself back, but it's Scott out in the 1. He's got the steam, he's got the power. He's just been hibernating. He's been playing a little possum all day long. He's throwing it down when it counts, just putting down a track to say, hey, I'm here. Scott Silver coming in on the 1. Greg Hughes sitting in on the 2 spot.
Right, and it's the 8 to 9 girls, number 183. And diving down in there, that'll be the 01 of Pippa Walker from Hamilton, racing her way down that second straight. That's the 01, followed by the 04. And looking for a way around there, I would say that's Greta. Greta looking for a way around the outside. But out front, Pippa having it her own way. Pippa working hard. Here comes Greta. Here comes the third rider. Great race to end that.
All right, this 92 plate, that's got the whole shot. That's the 93 plate in the 1 as they roll it through with the 351. Jody Giorgantius out of Tauranga sitting in the 2 spot at the moment. But 92 with Kathleen Giorgantius out of Hamilton in the 1 spot. Coming in on the 3 spot, looking real sharp as they push it through. And we also have in there Sonia Rennie coming on the mix with Sam Vandervin out of Hot Valley Thunderbolts.
Right, and it's the woman under 23, and it has been Brooke Penny out there all day, leading it away. 331, that'll be Amber Robson. She was in second place. As Brooke Penny comes down that rhythm straight, spins her way out of that turn. It'll be 581. Selena Pfister holding on to third there, with young Taylor Arnold back and forth. But out front, Brooke Penny taking it away.
Well, stacked and racked, this race is going to be fast as they're out the gate. Rockets can't keep up as they're rolling through. Days of Thunder as they turn and burn into that first corner. It's anybody's show as they're laying it down. It's a 420. Light him up if you got him. If you know, you know. He's out in the front of the package. Lucas Mattini always throwing it in on the mix and getting some good steam. Oh, nice little work as he goes high to low. Getting some serious rhythm as he's pushing it down. Nice in there as he's getting that down. That's Caleb White, St. William, and Lachlan McDonald. But it's a drag race to the finish line and anybody's show.
Right, it looks like it's the 16 boys. And coming at you now around that first turn, 275, Deegan McCormack leading the way. Down that rhythm straight, it is Deegan McCormack followed by Jamie Harkness. And we've got Thomas and Liam in the mix too. But out front, looks like Deegan McCormack's taking it off.
Right, hitting the mix on the 16 boys. Deacon Connor on the one plate. We got a time traveler on this one. He's definitely painting within the lines. It's the 267 hitting it on the 2 spot as he rolled it down. Zed Pickford and Levi Banks. Nico Kogan in the 2 as he's riding down hard, trying to get in that 1. But it's Deacon Connor definitely having his way. He's looking for a little bit of a push through, but it's going to be a race down there. Nico's got the 2. Deacon taking the 1.
Right, and I get the privilege to commentate through this 13-14 girls, race number 189. That's been Luca, Maddie, Sophie, Courtney, and Abby. And out front there, looks like we've got a bit of a mix-up. It's 191. That will be Sophie Penny leading it. Sophie Penny going down hard there, but her sister Luca will be chasing her down, and it's a great berm move there from the third rider. As we got a big challenge coming on for that second spot.
It's Beth Walker at the moment. It is her show. Nice to see the new apparel coming through. Definitely bringing a little bit of extra class into the racing. It's Beth Walker in the 1. Nice Colhoun coming through with a nice manner with Madeline Hunter settling for the 3 spot at the moment with the 1-3-5 coming through on the mix. That's Azria Thornley. Definitely a thorn on the side trying to get through on this to get into that up spot into the podium. But Beth Walker looking real strong out of Cambridge.
The action's been fast and furious, and we got double crossing riders mixing it up. So slight gap as we wait for those riders to make it back from their motor and into the cruiser class.
Dropping down the gate on the boys as they were rolling through here. Nice work in here. Looks like we have ourselves a Donovan Wallace out in the 1 with a Bowden sitting in number 3 spot with the 3-2-1 back front on the mix as he comes through. Jacob Crawford, Hugo Bassett. Hugo is in the mix. A nice riding in there from the North Harbor rider, looking real sharp on the 801 plate. Looks real good. 800 Hugo Bassett in there. Donovan Wallace though leading it out on the cruisers 8-10. This boy's putting it down and laying some good tracks. All right, here we go for the race. Number 192. It's 11-12 cruiser males. We have ourselves Mata coming through on the mix. He's a world number 1. That's world number 1 out there. Tate Bird sitting in the 2 spot as it gets through with some nice riding in there from Baden Prescott sitting in the 3. Jordan Dawson doing a work as he comes through, putting in the yards, going for his usual little undercut. Nice little ride in there from these boys. just cruising through. As we get on to the 11 to 12 cruiser males, Brock O'Neill is sitting there in the 2 spot, just sort of getting himself back into the rhythm with 305 sitting tight on that. That's Finn Barrington out of Sunset Coast sitting in the 3. Nice riding in there from Arcade McKenzie out of Christchurch coming up off Whoop Whoop. And also we got Dylan Johns out in the 1. But it's Brock. He looks like he's just eyeing up the prize, getting the rhythm, getting the feel as he's lighting it up. It's 11 to 12 of cruiser males.
So just while we've got all the riders sort of making their way to Cambridge, looks like we will try and get practice underway at 4 o'clock. Please do bear in mind, do not go on the track until the commissars have opened the track in Cambridge. So 4 o'clock we look to hopefully get practice underway. But stay off the track until the commissars get there, and hopefully we'll get racing underway at 5:30. So Cambridge looking to drop the gate at 5:30. (17 to 39 cruiser male. We've got Zach, JD, Corey, Sam, Hayden, Sean, and James. And the gate goes down, and it looks like Stockman's had a great start there out of lane 4. It's Stockman diving into the turn, swooping that down that second straight. But out on the outside there, Zachary Arnold is sitting back in 3rd. Right now, high-low comes from that rider, putting pressure on young Stockman. Stockman sliding back into 2nd, looking for a way around here. All the way down that last straight, it's spotted by action as Stockman comes back at him. Good thing we got transponders for that finish.
All right, up on the gate, we have ourselves 40 to 49 cruiser males. We got some outlaws on this one. Hitting it hard is Daniel Mattini in the mix, sitting in on the 5 spot at the moment, but it's a 228 sitting pretty on the 1, looking like he's got this one lined up. That'll be Nick Jeffrey on the 223. My apologies, numbers are small and I'm not that big. 372 looking real sharp on the 3 spot. That's Brad Theory. It looks like he's on his bike and going hard. And also in the mix as we roll it through, it'll be Grant Rennie and Andrew Shaker.
Right, Darren Smith, Wayne Shanks, Mark, Greg, and Craig coming out of you now. Oh, big turn there from bike 71. That's Greg Hughes out front. But a nice challenge down on the inside here. Greg Hughes gets slotted. He goes wide on the turn. It looks like it's the 487, sorry, Wayne Shanks on that machine out front. Hughes goes back into 2nd. Then we got Darren and Greg finishing it up.
Ian Muth in the 1 at the moment, hitting it as we come through, but no, that's none other than Paul Luttrell coming through in there on the 701 plate. 701, Paul Luttrell is holding it down. Dion Muth is just cruising, saving his legs as he pushes down. Warren Bogus is in the number 3 spot as they roll through with James Pocott out of Cambridge sitting in on the 4 spot. Dion Muth is just giving himself a little scenic tour, stops his pedaling, and it looks like he's going to be able to take the 2 spot with Paul Luttrell taking the 1.
Right, the 8 to 12 cruiser female, Paige, Hattie, Perrine, Nessie, and Stella. And once again, it's the bike 61. That'll be Nessie Rennie leading it out with the 80 Perrine. And she will be chased down by Hattie, led out in 3rd. Not a lot of breathing space between her and the number 93, Stella. Stella looking for a way around the outside here as they go into that 3rd turn. But holding on, Hattie goes wide, Stella on the inside. Here goes Stella. Great finish there for that 3rd spot.
As we make our way into the final race, number 200 for the 2025 Waikato Region Champs for Hamilton. And as we make our way over into Cambridge, the racing has just started and just gone underway with none other than the world #1 leading it from the front out of Rotorua. It's Jeanette Davies taking home the 17 to 49 Cruiser females. Wrapping it up here, the 2025 Waikato Region Champs. Thank you, Hamilton, and thank you everybody for coming, and thank you to all the riders.
Right, so as we say, there we go, end of Hamilton. That's round 1 of the Waikato Regional Champs. We'll be heading off to Cambridge. We should be dropping the gate there at 5:30 to carry on our fast-paced action. And